The only thing you can do is what are you going to do with what you got right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And it's all like, guess what? We could have all been born into a family that's in a third world country where you have to walk 3 miles just to get water.
Yeah, dude.
But, you know, things can always be worse.
Yeah.
And of course, like, yeah, you could say things could always be better.
Right.
It's like, well, what are you going to do with what you got now?
Yeah.
You know, and if you always blame, like, well, I had to come from a low-income house, low-income family to make my way up here.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That struggle made you better. He was asleep most of the time. Yeah. You know, downside, he had a colostomy bag.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, the orderly dropped it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. That, like, I remember, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear him rustling around, and then I see, like, next thing you know, you hear, oh, boom! And there's just this jug of stuff, and I'm all like, and like you could smell it. And this was up.
I would have thrown up, dude.
Oh, I was about to.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I have a strong stomach for smells. But then I've had a conversation with a former crackhead who is sitting there is like, hey, you know what? I was on my last straw. I'm sitting there selling everything I can to do drugs. I'm doing stuff I should have never done just to like dull all the pain that they felt.
Yeah.
And then something reached out and touched them.
Yeah.
And showed them like, wait, I don't have to keep doing this.
Right.
Everybody flips flops. And then now his next term, he's not upholding what he said he was. You know, and for me, like, when politicians do that, I don't even want to listen to them.
Okay.
You know, I'm just like, you know what? You're pretty much speaking BS, and that's all you are.
Right.
And especially if you're not backing up what you're going to say. You know, because I think if anybody who's in charge of a country or just in charge of a community, if you're going to say something, live up to it.
Welcome back to the only podcast that you are currently listening to, the Why Can't We Talk About That podcast. Before getting to today's discussion, I just want to remind you to please leave reviews of the show wherever you are listening from, and please share it with everyone that you know. I get extremely excited when I hear from you, so please reach out to me by sending an email to whycan'twetalkaboutThat@proton.me. My guest today is Travis Christensen, a full-time family man and martial artist who is also a part-time woodworker. He was born and raised in Santa Maria and is an instructor and co-owner at CKD Academy of Martial Arts, a place where 2 of my children have been students. It had been years since I had talked with Travis, and this is the first time I have ever picked his brain about important topics. I had a great time hanging out with him. Enjoy the conversation.
So are you on like insulin now? Oh wow,
Yeah,
dude.
every single day.
Every day.
Every day insulin, have to monitor it. I mean, good thing about the glucose meters is like, I don't have to sit there and prick my fingers.
Right.
Because I did that for like the first 8 years.
That hurts, dude.
Well,
I had to do that for a while too.
now it's actually gone away, but
Like
like
calluses?
no, I used to have like little black dots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would only do it on like these 3 fingers.
Okay.
Never on my thumbs, never on my pinkies.
Yeah.
You know, but it just like more black dots every single day.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So
Shoot, man. Did you ever get bad? Did you ever like pass out or anything from it? Or did you ever get like
I've only passed out once. Thank God, you know.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so
That's gnarly, dude. That's
only passed out once on that.
Okay.
You know, but that was like actually it was in a park. Had my dogs out.
Okay.
Next, you know, I didn't. It was before the glucose monitor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't know you were low.
I just felt like I was like, oh, I'm a little off. My dog was being a little turd, and then like next, you know, bam, head first into the grass. Woke up. I'm guessing just like a minute or so later.
Yeah.
But like my whole face up here was just like scraped, cut.
And you're by yourself? And there's no other people there to help you?
There was one dude, like when it was happening, one guy walked by, but you know, he walked by, didn't think twice. You know, it was like, oh, that guy's probably drunk or something.
Yeah, right.
You know,
yeah.
Some idiot in the park.
Yeah, he OD'd or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh, who cares? You know?
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Well, good thing it was on the grass because.
Oh, if it was on cement or something, yeah.
So
before we get started,
yeah.
I brought a gift for you.
Oh, you did?
I make this stuff on the
sweet.
side. So that's actually just like a little like
Is
cheese
it like a
serving
charcuterie?
tray. Yeah, you can
whatever?
use it for a breadboard, cheese board.
And you got your name branded in here.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my little maker's mark.
Was that TJ?
Huh?
What's
Yes.
the J?
My middle name is Johannes.
Okay.
So,
Johannes.
yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like when coming up
Okay.
with a name for everything, like from like my little side business, my uncle, he used to do woodworking.
Okay.
And he had a thing going on up in the Northern California area, and he called it. His name was Tommy. So Thomas. But it was Tommy's Wooden Things.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to steal it because he used to make those wooden cars. Like I have a actual Willys Jeep.
Okay.
That he made himself. Has a little all armied out. Has a little M60 turret on the back.
That's awesome.
He made us dump trucks when we were kids.
That's so.
Yeah.
Is he still around or no?
No. He passed away 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this was your uncle?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool, man. Yeah, this is nice. What's this kind of the purple wood? What's that called again?
That's Purple Heart.
Purple Heart.
Yeah, it's
That's
actually
right.
two woods. It's Purple Heart and Eep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thanks,
and
man.
it's
that's really cool.
already sealed with food grade safe oil.
Ooh, so it's good to go. I can put
yeah.
meats and cheese on right now.
Yeah. And all you have to do to clean it, just take a damp towel,
Okay.
wipe it off, dry it with a paper towel.
Okay.
You're good to go.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's nice, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
I like when people bring me gifts.
Yeah. No.
It makes me excited. There's only been about 7 guests I've had total of like the 150 I've done.
That brought you gifts.
That brought me gifts. I try to make it a thing. Like in the intro, I say, hey, just so everybody knows, this particular guest brought me a gift. So, let's get this trend going.
Hey, exactly. You gotta get some free swag.
Yeah.
You put it on the podcast and everything.
I'm not that young.
We're still young. Because wait, how old are you now?
I'm 48.
40? Oh, okay. So
yeah.
you're only 3 years older than I am.
Okay. Oh, you're 45?
Yeah, I just turned 45.
See, I thought you were younger than that.
No, I wish.
Okay, yeah.
I wish.
Okay.
My body feels like 80 sometimes. But
but that's really cool, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
There's really no structure
yeah.
to this. Have you listened to these, or did you
Yes.
listen? Okay.
Yeah, no, I've listened to a couple of them.
Okay.
I actually just listened to the Bad Religion one.
Oh, nice.
Which, the music, I was just in there, I was like, here, because my music taste is all over the place. And
Good,
then when you guys did a whole show about Bad Religion, because that's one of my favorite punk bands.
Oh, good.
Love them.
Good. Okay, good. That's the first episode I ever done like that.
Oh, okay.
I got another one coming up next week that's going to be Blink-182.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to I'm going to start doing those with a couple other people that are fans of the same band, and we can just kind of geek out over that band. But yeah, the Bad Religion was the first one.
Oh,
ever.
yeah. No,
So-
I literally have an old school iPod Nano that I will not hook up into anything because it has all my Bad Religion albums.
Nice.
It has all my Dropkick Murphys.
Okay.
It has Pennywise.
Oh, so you're into the punk stuff, dude.
Well,
love it.
Everything from punk, rock, even I grew up more on like old school 50s and 60s. But then it started progressing, and then it's like getting into like the 90s rock.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's where it's
even
at,
the 90s hip hop. Which I heard
Yeah.
you're big and got
90s.
big into the old school gangster rap.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I grew up on that stuff.
That's
too.
right. That's where I started. Yeah, it was all that NWA and Too Short, Eazy-E, and all that stuff.
Definitely.
That was my jams back in the day. So good, wholesome, family friendly.
Exactly. Stuff that can't play on the radio.
Right. Stuff that you shouldn't play anywhere. Really, I'm like, oh my gosh, But I do still have some of that, and I made my own edited versions of it.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's hard to do because some of that's just it's so much in there. But then sometimes it's like a word here and there. It's like, oh, just take it. I still got a great song,
Well, nowadays they're using it for the commercials and everything to bring back. So, us people up in our 40s and stuff like that, we start here and we're like, wait, I know that song.
Yeah.
I know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'll listen to pretty much any genre.
Okay.
The only genre I used to didn't like, but now I'm getting back into it is actually country.
Country. See, that seems to be the one everybody says.
What's funny is when I was like in junior high, I got into country for a little while. All right, especially when like Garth Brooks was big,
Yeah.
But then I got into like the Johnny Cash, the old school country, and it's like, okay, that has a little bit more soul. That has some more meaning to it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then, like, after a while, I'm like, you know what? Forget this country. I don't want to hear anything. Too much line dancing.
See, that's the thing. I don't like those kind of songs. Mm-hmm. I don't like the line dancing songs. That kind of country I don't like. But I do like the Johnny Cash and the Hank Williams and Merle Haggard.
More of that storytelling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
And it's funny because, like, I have a 1-year-old boy.
That's so awesome.
And what puts him to sleep the most? Country.
Really?
So if I'm having trouble putting him to sleep, I'm like, all right, get him in the car.
Yeah.
He's still fighting it.
Yeah.
I'll put Garth Brooks on.
Okay.
And next you know,
really,
he's out.
Is it kind of the slower country songs, or doesn't matter?
More the slower ones. Okay. Like Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
Like the more of the storytelling or the love, like style songs for country.
Okay.
Those are the ones that he likes the most.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I start listening more to the lyrics.
Right.
You know, and then you're like, oh, wait, this has profound lyrics, you know? Like, there's one, now I'm forgetting who did it. Was it George Strait? George Strait had a song, it was talking about, like, dad's love.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's like being a new father. Then it's like, oh, wait, this is hitting home.
Yeah, some of those country songs will hit you right in the heart, man.
Oh, big time.
Especially as a dad, you know.
Oh, it puts it in perspective,
right?
Because before you have kids, you don't really know what it feels like to be a dad.
Yeah,
you know, you're like, oh, I can have love for that kid,
right?
You know, but then once you have it, you're like, oh, wait. This kid, I'll do anything for this kid. You know, I will protect him. I will do anything I can to make sure this kid.
Die for him if it came to that.
Exactly. And that's what a father's supposed to do.
Right.
And those country songs kind of like, you know, they can hit that way.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm not going to, like, if I'm working out, I'm not putting country.
No.
No. That's only to put my boy to sleep. Right. Then it's like, okay, now I'll get into other music.
Yeah. You got to put on something a little more. A little pump upper, you know, you put that when you're working out or you're doing stuff for sure. That's so funny, man. So do you just have one kid?
One kid.
Okay.
One kid.
Who's 1 year old?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Started a little late in the game there.
A little bit.
So you're 44 when he was born?
What was that?
You were 44 then when he was born? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's born 3 days before my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was trying to tell my wife to hold out so he can be on my birthday.
Yeah.
You know?
He didn't listen?
No. He didn't listen. She didn't want to listen either.
Wow, dude. Yeah. She goes in the labor like, no, babe, you got to wait 3 more days. Just hold it in there.
Oh, I tried to say it, but then she gave me that look. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, she gave that look like, you're not the one that has to do this. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah. But it would have been awesome because I'm born on the 4th. My mom's born on the 4th.
Oh, you and your mom share the same birthday?
Same birthday.
Wow. That would have been gnarly, dude, to have 3 generations in a row like that.
That's what I kept telling my wife.
Okay.
But did she listen?
No. See, she should have been a little more considerate of your feelings.
Hopefully, but you know, she went through 36 hours labor, so
oh, no.
I can't hold it against her one bit.
Oh, was it natural or did she have to do a C-section all the time?
No, natural.
Okay, see that?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say like I know what it's like to be a woman, so women don't kill me when you hear me saying this. But it's like, at least... Because it almost feels like to the woman you go through 36 hours of all this stuff and then they just cut the baby out of you. Which is probably a relief at the time, but then afterwards you're like, man, you could have done that 36 hours ago and it would have been the exact same result and I wouldn't have had to go through 36 hours of pain and, and all that stuff.
All that, I call it warfare.
Yeah.
It's like the closest thing you can get to it.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, it's crazy. I give so many mad props
to
every woman who goes through labor.
Yeah.
You know, it's like women are superhuman.
They are. Yes,
you know?
And I'm glad we don't have to do that.
Exactly.
Because we would have gave up a long time ago. We were like, all right, the population's dying out. We're not ever getting pregnant ever again. No one is ever having any babies.
Yeah, human race is screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
we'll just
it's
die.
all good. We can let everybody die.
Yeah, we would have died a long time ago.
Oh yeah. But no, she was tough. She was
awesome,
tough,
dude. And how long ago did you get married?
Let's see, we're 3, going on our 4th year.
Okay, so still newlyweds, pretty much. Yeah, kind of. You know. And how'd you guys meet?
Actually, we met over 10 years ago. Actually, at a dog park.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. She loves the story.
It's like some 101 Dalmatians story, right?
Kind of. It was like a whole like rom-com.
Yeah.
Lined up everything. We met at the dog park up at the Rice Ranch one.
Okay, nice.
You know, and I had both my dogs. She had her dog.
Yeah.
And we just started striking up conversation.
Okay.
You know, and then we just kept running into each other at the dog park. Then we were meeting each other.
That's awesome.
At the dog park.
That is like a movie.
It is.
And were your dogs friends too? Did your dogs become friends? Okay.
No, they did. You know, I had a Beagle and a Staffy.
Okay.
Or Staffordshire Terrier. She has a Border Collie mix.
Okay.
You know, my Beagle, like, that guy was one that he would pick a fight with any dog.
Oh, really?
But luckily, he was mellowing out about that time,
Okay.
so I was able to get him into the dog parks.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, then met her, my Staffy and her dog. They were best friends from the get go.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, and then we started, talking, and we actually started talking about music first.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's a real big Dirty Heads fan.
Okay. See, I still have not listened to them, but I've had
Oh.
3 now. I think different people on here that have mentioned them. They're kind of like a rock reggae group,
Rock
right?
reggae.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing band.
Yeah, I've heard that. Are they local?
No.
Okay.
No. They're down the LA area.
Okay.
I think that's where they started from.
Okay, gotcha.
But ended up, I've seen them twice live.
Oh, wow.
Once at the Fremont.
Okay.
Which, great venue.
Yeah,
And
I've
then-
been there a few times recently. Actually, we've been to a few comedy shows there recently.
Oh,
So
nice,
Fremont,
nice. Yeah, no, I like it. It's like just in
Yeah.
the building.
It's great.
Feels like a theater, but then like they open it up a little bit, no
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, it's like a 25-minute drive, so it's not bad at all,
Oh yeah, and the other time we saw it was Avila Beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
The
love
outdoor.
that thing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right at
By the golf course? Yeah, okay. That's where
Yeah.
Dropkick played that one year with Rancid. Did you miss that show?
No, I missed that one.
Okay.
Yeah, because my wife, she actually saw Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly.
Oh,
at Avila
okay.
Beach
Oh, really?
Years ago.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that she loved that.
Okay.
You
That's
know,
cool.
so she's a big Flogging Molly fan.
Okay. That's cool that you guys have the same kind of taste. Mm-hmm. I remember that I didn't go to that show with Dropkick and Rancid, but I was I like Dropkick Murphys. I mean, I like them a lot. I'm not going to say like, oh, they're kind of okay. They're really good. Mm-hmm. But to me, there's no comparison between Dropkick and Rancid. Like Rancid is just one of the greatest punk bands of all time.
Oh yeah.
But like when that show was being promoted, and I had all these younger people talking to me about it, we're we're going to see the Dropkick Murphys, and then there's some band called Rancid. Wait, what? Dude, what? You're going just to see what? Dude, there's a reason they're opening for Rancid. Like,
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
come on.
They're not opening for Dropkick. They're
Right,
open.
yes.
Dropkick's open for them.
Yeah, I was like, you ever heard of Rancid? I don't know. Have you heard of Operation Ivy? No, who's that? Oh my gosh. I'm just like wondering what's wrong
You
with
want to
this
pull out the old
generation.
CD case and be like,
dude.
here, let me educate you.
Yeah, and I do. Or else I'll pull out my phone, like, okay, just listen to this, or I'll show them an album. Say, hey, just listen to this album tomorrow, especially since you're going to see them live.
Yeah.
You want to know some of the songs before you get there, Mm-hmm. But but I was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I like Dropkick. I saw Dropkick play at Ventura Theater back in 01.
Oh, okay.
Pretty early on. I think it was what was the album? The Gang's All Here. Mm-hmm. I think that one had just come out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're good. They're good live too because they got the whole. They got a lot of guys in that band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I haven't seen Dropkick live. I saw Flogging Molly.
Okay.
Fortunately, I saw them at the worst venue ever.
Where?
Chumash.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
Flogging Molly played at Chumash.
Yes, this is
What?
7 years ago. I want to
Okay.
say. All right. Get in there and it's inside the casino, and they start going off, and everybody's getting into it, and then people start standing up because it's they have chairs out, and so everybody starts standing up, and some people start trying to get a little bumping, a little moshing going on, just nothing too crazy, nothing like Ozzy,
Right. Yeah.
But then next thing you know, security's coming over. Hey, sit down.
Really?
Sit down. The lead singer actually even stopped and was like, man, you guys are the chillest and lamest crowd we have played for. You guys are sitting down.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, me and my wife, we're standing up. We're cheering.
Sure.
We're singing the songs with them.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the show, the security just was like, you know what? We're not going to say anything. Do what you want.
Oh,
And then-
good.
Yeah, because I guess the lead singer was complaining to him.
Good.
And was like, hey, why are you letting everybody sit down in the chairs
Right.
instead of getting involved?
I'm glad he finally realized it wasn't that you guys were lame. It was that the security wasn't letting you do that stuff.
They were too concerned, someone's going to get hurt, someone's
Right.
tripping over,
Right.
But then
Which from the venue's standpoint, I get, right? Because you got lawsuits, you got all this stuff going into that. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, it's a punk show. I mean, what do you expect?
yeah, it's not a classical concert where everybody's going to sit down and just
right. This
clap
isn't.
at the
We're not
end.
here to see Celine Dion or something. You know? It's just
Exactly.
it's
I would
a
not be
little more
there.
rocking for that,
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's cool, man.
Oh yeah, but no, those guys were amazing.
Okay,
Amazing.
I've never seen them live.
If you get a chance,
So, yeah.
do it. I mean,
I didn't
even
know
though
they were
now-
still playing. I didn't know.
They're
Okay.
they're in their 60s.
Okay, yeah.
I wanna say
cool,
they're
they
in their
gotta be.
60s.
They gotta be.
Yeah, but they're big soccer fans too.
Okay.
So and they support the same team I do.
Oh, there
I'm a
you go.
Manchester United fan.
Okay.
And so they were yelling out Manchester United supports in the concert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just helps solidify. It's like, okay, you like the same soccer team I do. All right, good. I love your music.
Yeah.
You know, the energy of it their concert was awesome.
Okay, and your wife went with you to that one. Okay, that's awesome. So cool, man.
Yeah. Well, also, if everybody agreed upon everything, it'd be a boring world. Yeah. It's like we need that contrast. We need people with different opinions.
Sure.
Because if not, then we're not going to have great music.
Right.
We're not going to have art. We're not going to have good movies. Yeah. We're not going to be able to have like good friendships because everybody gets along, and after a while, it just gets boring.
Right.
You know. Sometimes you need that little friction or something to push back. Yeah. You know, to help things out or progress things.
Yeah. Because that's the only way you're going to grow, right? As you know, doing the martial arts stuff. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, if it was too easy, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right. Yeah. So back to you met your wife at the dog park. Did you guys start dating like very soon after that, or did you guys just kind of?
We were hanging out and like just going on little dates, stuff like that. I didn't like make it serious or anything for couple months, 3-4 months, and then it was like, okay, there's something about her. Okay. Something about it, I like it, and it was super easy for me to be myself.
Okay.
Nice. Where I didn't have to try to like, oh, well, here, let me make myself into like a good example, or let me try to butter you up.
Right.
I could just be myself. She loved it.
Okay.
I loved her energy.
Yeah.
She was herself.
Yeah.
And it just started going off from there.
Nice. Is she around your age?
She's actually 8 years younger than me.
Okay.
Maturity wise, she's probably older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually the way it is with the women, right?
Yes.
Women are almost always more mature than men, so.
Oh, yeah. No, they have to be.
Yeah.
Plus, even though I'm in my mid 40s, I still act as a kid.
Yeah.
I want to keep playing until I'm an old man. Even in my 90s, I'm still going to be doing stupid stuff.
Yeah. Not too stupid though. You want your kid to have a dad growing up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait, I won't jump out of I won't go skydiving again until he's 18.
There you go. He can go with you.
Yes.
There you go.
No, he will.
There you go.
He will.
Nice.
I've been trying to get my wife to skydive, but
no, not gonna happen. I wouldn't do it either. I could never do that. My wife is like, sounds like we're the opposite of it.
Oh, okay.
Bethany is all about the daredevil stuff and all that kind of thing. I'm like, nope. I mean, dude, we just went on our first cruise ever, and that was awesome. Mm-hmm. But I was scared to death, dude. I was like, okay, I can't swim. I hate heights.
Wait, you can't swim?
No, I can't swim.
You never learned how to swim?
Never learned, dude.
No,
I know.
No one, like when you were a kid, just threw you in the pool.
Well, no, I used to go to lessons all the time, but I didn't want to put my head in the water. I didn't want to I was that guy. I was a kid that probably the instructors were like, oh, we can't do anything with this kid because they're not going to go force me. Get your head under the water. I mean, maybe an uncle or a dad or something would do that, but
a good uncle would do that.
Yeah, right. Just well, that's how Bethany learned how to swim. But her dad just threw her in the water.
I'm like, hey, you're going to sink or swim. If you start sinking, I'll jump in and save you. But
yeah, exactly.
Just start kicking your feet.
Just do something, right? Yeah, and I probably would have learned that way, but my son-in-law is he's been a lifeguard, swimming instructor, all that. So he's always told me, he's like, I'll teach you how to swim. Because I'm going to go to class with a bunch of kids, or even how many guys are in their 40s like, yeah, I'm here to learn how to swim. You feel like an idiot. It's like, I'm not going to do that. So, but if it's just me and him in a pool, it's like, yeah, I'll let you teach me how to swim.
You don't want to be hanging out with 5-year-olds learning how to swim.
Right, exactly.
Have your floaties on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was bad enough because I already went back to Hancock a few years back to get my AA. And I was like, everybody in there's like fresh out of high school. It's like all these young kids. There was actually 2 guys in there were older than me, which made me feel a little better. But I was still the old guy, I was just like, man, all these kids are like in here, and it was crazy. It was a fun experience, but yeah, it's just, you kind of feel like the old guy. So she's a little bit younger than you, and she never had. Did she have any kids before that or anything? Nothing. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Perfect, man.
Yeah. So I mean, we were dating for 8 years before I popped the question.
Okay.
So
you're taking a little time there, huh?
Oh yeah, I always good thing she's not here because she'd be saying, she'd be like, yeah, you should have popped that question a long time ago, and I should have, but truthfully, I've never been the biggest person on having a ring around the finger to show that I'm committed to a person.
Right.
It's like every single day I show you I'm committed. I'm going to show you my love.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. Especially after the first couple of years, it was like, no, I know I'm going to be with you for my whole life.
Right.
And
did you have a concern the other way though? Did you think if I don't put the ring on it, like she might be like, "Nah, I'm gonna find somebody better."
No, not really, you know. But then, like as years went by, it was just like she kept hinting at it. She wanted that ring, you know.
Yeah, the women are really into that, dude. They're really into the ring and the marriage. And,
oh yeah,
you know.
She wanted that wedding.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we kind of did things on our own timeline and kind of like things backwards.
Okay.
You know, it's like we bought a house before we got married.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know, and then like almost a year after we got the house, and it's like, okay, you know, I got the ring, you know, everything proposed.
Nice, dude.
You know, actually took her back to the same spot we met at the dog park to do the proposal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
it just you and her? Or did you like have other people there?
No, it was just us. It actually worked out perfect because like I always joke around because when we first met, like there's benches at the dog park, and we actually like I was sitting down and she like came over, and of course, you know, it's a bench that 3 people can sit on.
Right.
And like she kind of like gets my attention. She's like, is anybody sitting there? It's like all like nonchalant. I'm like, of course there's no one sitting here.
Yeah.
Like, no, sit down. And that's how we really struck up our conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and
you should have done, dude. You should have, of course, this wouldn't have ended in you guys getting married, so maybe you shouldn't do this. But it would be funny in the movie that's about your life. Like if she said somebody's sitting here and you started started literally talking to nobody sitting next to you, and you'd be like, well, yeah. Like
don't you see this?
Yeah, don't be rude. I'm having a conversation, and she'd been like, "Woo, he's nuts."
Yeah, no. She would have walked away and never came back. Like, I'm not going back to the dog park.
Yeah,
there's some crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but was able like right towards a little bit before sunset. Got there.
Okay.
No one was at the dog park. So you know, and of course I told her, I was like, hey, you know, we usually walk around the Rice Ranch area and the trails.
It's beautiful over there.
Oh, love that area. You know, because a lot of times when we first started dating, we'd go before they did all the new house construction.
Yeah.
And took away about like half the trails.
Yeah.
We would go walk those trails with our dogs
That's nice.
and just enjoy nature, you know, each other's company.
You weren't worried about mountain lions over there?
Oh no.
Okay.
Like
that area. They had some sightings over there for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I haven't heard of a sighting out there.
When they first built that
time.
whole area over there with the bridge going across, and then they had all the soccer fields were all out there. And they had all those trails that you're talking about. There was quite a few sightings of mountain lions in those trails.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Nobody was attacked or anything, but they could see them far enough away. Like, okay, walk the other way. You know.
Yeah, because I've never come across a mountain lion. I've crossed paths with a couple coyotes before.
Oh, okay.
You know, but they're skittish, so they run off.
Yeah.
You know,
those are nothing.
Yeah, but we were able to get down there, and I told her, I was like, hey, let's just go back and like kind of recreate like when we first met.
Yeah.
You know, and went down there, sat down, and then I don't know how she didn't notice because I had the ring box in my pants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, wait, these are actually the same pants I'm
it's
wearing.
all huge. Oh, really?
Yeah. No, in cargo pants, and like the box is like, you know, 2-3 inches tall.
Maybe so it was Tic Tacs or something, dude.
Well, she didn't even notice.
Okay.
And then, of course, it's a bright red box, too.
Yeah.
And I got her distracted, and then, of course, you know, when she turned around, boom, I was there on one knee with the ring out and everything.
Nice, dude. And she didn't see it coming, or what?
No.
Wow.
No. Okay. She knew, like, he's up to something.
Yeah.
But she didn't know that day I was going to propose.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
No, she said yes, I'm guessing. Okay.
Of course.
Hands down.
Hands down.
She's like,
100%, no hesitation.
Okay. That's good, because if there's a little bit of hesitation, it makes you think, oh,
if she starts going,
yeah. What are the pros and cons here? I don't know. Okay. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And then you guys wait a little while to have your kid, a couple, 6-7 years or so after marriage?
No, let's see.
Because he's a year old now.
He's a year old. Okay. We were married for
4 years, you said.
2 years.
Okay.
So we were married 2 years.
Okay.
Nice, and then, you know, had our first child.
Okay. You hoping to have more?
No,
that's it.
No, I'm getting too old for this.
Game over. Okay.
Yeah, one and done.
One and done.
I got a beautiful baby boy.
There you go.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, smart.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better child.
Yeah.
You know, lets us sleep through the night. So we're happy.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, no, he's been that way since 6 months.
Yeah, we have 2 and 2, as you know. Mm-hmm. The boys were always so much easier with that stuff for us. Like, they always went to bed easier. They weren't as picky of eaters. They just did, you know, at least for us. I know other people have different stories, but our girls were always the ones that were screaming, couldn't put them to bed. They were picky about their food. And the girls seemed to get easier as they got older. And the boys got harder as they got older. You know what I mean? Like they started easy, and then they started to get
they don't get the attitude until you enter teenage,
right? Yeah,
and then they start challenging,
and then which is true of male and female. It doesn't matter for their sons or daughters, but so are you going to train him in the ways of the?
Oh, he's already at the dojo.
Is he really?
He's been there since my wife. She works from home.
Okay.
So. And of course, I usually do all my classes. It's like afternoon, nighttime. Summertime, usually we do like summer day camps for kids. So I'll be there from early in the morning to 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
But ever since he's been 2 months old, he literally comes to the dojo with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, so he'll be out on the mat, or sometimes like I have a little tactical carrier that I put him in, and so he'll just be watching everybody as we train.
Like, so you'll be instructing with him just
on my chest.
I bet the students love that.
Oh, it's funny. The little kids, they love it the most.
Okay.
You know, because they're like, wait, that's a baby. You know, and then when he makes noises or when he falls asleep on me, you know, they love it.
You're like, watch me do these 2 flips in a roundhouse while I'm holding my son here, you know?
No. I've grappled with him, you know?
That's awesome.
I've done moves like partner work with people, and I'm like holding him. I'm like, all right, now grab my wrist. Now we're going to do this move.
That's funny, man.
You know,
are you guys still over by where Lasson's was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still over there, right next to Fatty's Pizza. And whatnot.
Yeah. And is Heather still do it too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh yeah, no. We're going strong over there.
That's nice, man.
So still going, because I was trying to remember like how long it's been since because Aiden and your youngest daughter,
Addison,
they did it.
Who just turned 18.
8.
Yeah,
now I'm feeling
we just
old.
had our party here last night. Yeah, we had like 30 teens in our backyard last night. So yeah, it was fun. Well, we put them all out there.
Yeah,
with the bonfire and all the food, and we just said, all right, the adults all hanged out in the living room and play video games and stuff.
Exactly. Like, don't contact us unless there's an emergency.
Right. The backyard's on fire, let us know. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Someone's
she
bleeding,
did.
let us know.
I can't remember if I know she did the Little Warriors with Heather, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then she was in your class for a while too. But I think she only did 1 year of that.
I think so. Yeah,
Addie did. Yeah, I believe so. But I remember she was all into it, man.
Yeah, she
took it very seriously.
Little Warriors.
Okay,
and she loved it.
She did, yeah. Mm-hmm. And she like other kids would be kind of screwing around, and she's just like, no, dude, what are you doing? Like, we've got to be focused here. You know?
Yes.
Wow, you're taking this very seriously. And Aiden went quite a while. Aiden was, I don't remember how old he was when he stopped, but
because I'm trying to remember if he got up to our orange belt.
I think so. Is orange after yellow?
Yes.
Right? What, white, yellow, orange?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's as high as he got. It was orange, but yeah. Yeah, he was breaking the boards and all that stuff.
All that good fun stuff.
Yeah, we were just talking about that the other day because I told him you were going to be on. He's like, "Oh, dude, that's so cool. I'm going to have to listen." I mean, he listens to most of them anyway because he does all the techie stuff. Mm-hmm. He does all the editing and all that kind of stuff. Not the editing, but the what do you call it? See, I don't even know what it's called. That's how untechy I am. He makes it sound good.
Oh, okay.
He balances the levels. He puts it through the programs that are supposed to smooth it up and make it, all that kind of stuff. So he splices all the intro and everything together for me and all that.
Oh,
so,
nice. That's good.
He's my tech man.
Hopefully he doesn't charge too much.
He doesn't. He gets to live here, so that's what he gets.
Oh,
so,
even better.
Yeah,
good trade off.
So he moved back in. He moved out. He moved down Corona for it's down there like 8 months, 9 months because he met a girl.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was kind of like mutual. Like, we were basically telling him you need to leave because it was getting chaotic. Because he was older. He was like 20,
he needs
21.
his own space.
He did. Yeah, he definitely did. And, he had his younger siblings. It was just becoming a mess. And then at the same time, he met this girl who happened to live in Corona. So she's like, oh, you should move down to Corona with me. So he went down there. Dude, get this, dude. He found this older lady who was renting in her backyard. She had 2 storage sheds that she was renting out. We're talking like 8 by 4.
Like straight up storage shed from Home Depot.
Bingo.
Oh.
She had 2 of them back there. She had electricity.
That's her extra unit?
Yes. It's like her EDUs or EDU or whatever they call those. And she had the electricity, but there was no bathroom. There was nothing to cook anywhere, but they were allowed to go in her house and use the bathroom and the showers and the cooking area if they wanted to make something. Yeah, well, because here there's no way in this area that a 20-something can go out by himself and live. You have to have a roommate. You have to have other incomes to that. There's unless
you're making $10,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
But what 18-year-old is making 10 G's a
maybe
month?
Drug dealers,
true,
pimps, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
all the illegal stuff. But yeah, it's But so he's been here for I think 3 years now. So
okay,
because he just turned 24. So yeah, he's 24. Alora's our oldest. And I'm sure you've met her, but she never did CKD. She might have done like when you have the days where people can come and test it out, try it out. I forgot what you call those, but yeah, we had Aiden would invite friends and stuff, and they'd come and check it out. And I think Alora did that a few times, but she was never in the classes. But
yeah, because I was trying to remember all your kids, and I don't remember like off the top of my head, but also I've been punched in the face a lot,
right?
So it's like trying to remember. It's like I do better at people's faces.
Yeah,
when I just hear names, and I'm sitting there trying to put the face to it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we have Alora who's 27, who's now married and just had their first kid. So we're grandparents now.
Congrats.
Thank you. She's 3 months old and almost 4 months old now. And then Aiden, who you know, is 24. And then Addie just turned 18, who you also know. And then Asher's our youngest.
Yes.
And I can't remember if he did anything or not. He might have done Little Warriors for a while, too. I can't remember. Maybe he didn't. But he's going to be 16 in a few months.
Oh, nice.
And he's the youngest, so we're almost home free.
Almost.
Get them all out of here. And we'll just, live our lives,
Yeah, then you get your whole house to yourself.
Yeah, finally,
Yeah, but then you guys are going to be sitting around going, it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's too quiet.
It is, yeah. We'll probably never be here. We'll probably be traveling and doing all kind of stuff. So
you got to take advantage of it.
Well, because we started so young. I mean, Bethany was 17. I was 19 when
you guys first had your kid? Oh, okay.
So it's like,
that is an advantage. You
think?
Well, I think because it's like, since I'm just starting out, especially at 45, it's tiring, because you remember the days when they first start, when your first parents and they're newborns and you're not getting much sleep, you're waking up every couple hours just to feed them.
Oh yeah, it's gnarly.
It takes a toll on you,
right?
Right. If I had my energy when I was in my 20s. It would have been a little bit easier to deal with.
That's true.
In my 20s, I could function off of 2 hours of sleep, and I'd be no problem working 10 hours.
Right.
Taking care of the kid, no problem.
Yeah.
So
as people try to say.
But see, now like you had them young, you can enjoy them when they're adults.
Right.
So it's like, all right, you're still young enough where you could do stuff with them as an adult.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting
until
they're adults and then you're in your 70s.
Well, because when your son's 20, you're going to be 64.
Yep. I'll be I'll be up there.
Yeah, that's up there, dude. That's scary to me.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, to think about how fast time goes now, and it's like, because I think like how fast the last 10 years went, and in 10 years I'm going to be almost 60. That kills me, dude. I'm like, what? What? How did that happen? Like,
but
how?
do you even feel like you're that
I
old?
don't.
No.
I
don't
still
feel like
you're
old. Like for me, like I still feel like hey, I'm still 21 years old.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, you're active all the time too, though. Because you get a lot of workout when you're doing your classes and stuff, right? Plus, you probably do you still train on your own and stuff too?
I do.
Okay.
Well, having a kid kind of takes away a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So I fit it in as best I can.
Okay.
Do
you compete still though? Like yourself?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like the traditional karate tournaments have been fading away from California.
Oh, bummer.
Just venues, popularity.
Okay.
And also there's more popularity with jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Okay.
MMA and I don't have any MMA fighters training out of my place anymore.
You used to?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, one of my old training partners, he actually went pro.
Okay.
Keith Catrone,
okay.
Awesome dude.
Okay.
But he was pro for a little while. Fought in Bellator, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
I'm not familiar with UFC at all.
Well, UFC is top.
Okay.
Bellator, it used to be right below it.
It's like the minor leagues in baseball.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So right next to UFC.
Okay.
So he did that for a little while. Right now, I haven't talked to him in a while, so I'm not sure if he still is training or doing pro fights. But,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, I had about 5 fighters that were training with me.
Yeah.
And this was 15 years ago.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool to watch them do cool stuff after that. You're like, oh, I'll check them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hey, if they're doing good, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
But you yourself won some pretty, I don't know, to your own horn, but you won some pretty cool stuff too, didn't you?
I've done, I have state championships, world champion.
Okay.
Regional
world champion. That's
yeah, but that's
small potatoes.
But it's traditional karate tournament.
Okay.
So it's not Olympic status.
Right.
You know, it has
but
a
you
nice
could probably
green.
take those guys too, though. I bet. You
in,
just didn't go there.
In a real fight.
Yeah.
Not their point fights.
Oh, okay.
You know,
if you guys met in a back alley, you'd take them out.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I'm not trying to brag. But no. Okay. I would walk away from the fight.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But that's cool. No, I still train. You know, teach almost 6 days a week.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. So how many hours in a day do you spend doing that?
Anywhere like outside the summer, I'll be teaching probably like 6 hours a day.
Okay.
So, and then during summer times, that jumps up to about like 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
You know,
that's
so
cool,
because
man.
we do like the summer day camp for kids, which are awesome. And that's like sometimes 3 to sometimes like 5 hours of training every day.
That's cool.
And then we do our regular classes, and we usually have about 5 classes every day.
Oh, really? Of all different students?
All different ages, because since you had your youngest one, Addie, in Little Warriors, that's 3, 4, and 5 year olds.
Okay.
So we have a group for that. That's for Little Warriors.
That was such a blast to watch that. That's so funny.
I love that age because they're sponges, and they just want to have fun. They just want to experience things, and it's like, all right, well, here, come on, let's do this drill. You know, but they're learning how to defend themselves, but also they're learning their focus. You know, learning that they can actually do stuff instead of just sit there and watch. Yeah. You know, it's like, no, I can actually get out there. I can actually participate, do things, you know, gain confidence, gain flexibility, coordination, you know, stuff that's going to help them later on in their life. Yeah, for sure. You know, because it's not just about the fighting part. Oh, yeah. No. Right? It's a mental, it's a spiritual, it's an emotional kind of That's the goal of martial arts. Okay. You know, a lot of people always focus martial arts on fighting. Right. You know, I have so many people in my experience, because I've been teaching 27 years. Yeah, okay. You know, because I started teaching back in my instructor, Sokas. Oh, yeah. You know, so that was the way I used to pay for my lessons. Yeah. I would teach the little kid class with me and my sister, and that way we pay for our lessons. Soka didn't have to deal with little 5-year-old kid that didn't want to listen. Could you imagine? Oh no! Because you remember meeting him. Oh yeah. You know. Oh yeah. And he was rough at the exterior. Yeah. But he had the kindest, sweetest heart in the world. Wait, the first time I ever saw him, I probably told you this a long time ago, but you might not remember. First time I ever met him was when we were going to Calvary back in probably been 01, 02, around there. That's when we first started going to Calvary, and he used to sit at the front with the puppets. He'd stand at the front of the driveway where you drive into the park, and he'd have the little puppets, and he would just make the kids laugh and stuff. And he'd do that every week. We'd see him out there, and then when I first started getting to know him a little bit, like when he'd see, we had our young kids at the time, and he'd say, "Oh, I just love the babies. I just love the baby." He's like such a softie, you know. Oh, he was. And at that time, I had no idea that he was into martial arts or any of that stuff. I didn't know that until later when Aiden started going to your classes. So yeah. Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was amazing. Hardly ever understood anything he said, but it was... Oh, that's right. I didn't understand a single word he said for the first year. But that Louisiana accent, that Cajun accent... It was deep, too. It was like, Yeah, no, I told my students now, I was like, I didn't understand anything. I had to watch everything he showed so I could learn. Luckily, I'm a very visual learner. So if I see something, I can do it. Yeah. You know? That's cool. If you tell me something... It's going to take me a little bit. Yeah, me too. You know? I'm that way too. So, not understanding him for the first year was a blessing. You wish you could have turned on subtitles or something, you know? A little bit, but even then, it would be like the messed up subtitles. Yeah. Where it's like, wait, I don't think he really said that. Because the subtitles wouldn't even know what he was saying. Oh, yeah, no. He would say words like idea. Right. And you're like, what's an idea? Right. You mean an idea? You know, I'm like, it's an idea. Yeah. He's like, no, an idea. Right. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, you speak a foreign language. Yeah. And it was such a like Creole or whatever they call that or whatever, Cajun. But then you listen to other people from Louisiana, like you watch like Duck Dynasty. Those guys live in Louisiana. I can understand. They have an accent, but I can understand what they're saying. I'm never going, what's he saying? What's he saying? But when I listened to Carl, it was like, dude, like what? Like it was. I don't know if it's because it was almost like his mouth wasn't moving or something. Like he just didn't like he had. It was such a strong, thick accent. Oh, it was a thick. He lost it throughout the years. Oh, okay. It started like. You know, before he passed away, you know, he sounded more like a Californian.
Oh, really?
It started changing a little bit, easier to understand. Or it could have just been me, hanging around him for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
You got used to it.
So I could understand him.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
But no, he gave me the gift where of the martial arts of Keijudo, and then it's like, wait, I love it. Love training. I can make a living off this.
Yeah.
So I don't have to work a regular 9-to-5 job, and you get to kind of give back to the students. That's why I like the young kids.
Yeah.
Even though the little kids, will test your patience.
Oh yeah.
But to see them when they learn a technique, when you see them actually start growing as a kid, as a person,
right?
Where it's their confidence, or even just like where a kid comes in bashful at first, but then through the training, the next you're like seeing them walk around a little bit head up high.
See
that confidence,
and that's rewarding.
Yeah. Oh, it's very, very rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I have students that are still with me that they started when they were 3 years old.
Oh wow.
Some are teenagers, some are right now adults.
Crazy.
I
wonder if there's anybody from when Aiden was in there that's still on. That'd be a trip.
Oh, that would be.
See, like, who's still in there from that time? Because all of us parents, we kind of got to know each other as we would be there watching, and we kind of we get to know the kids and stuff. I don't remember any of their names at this point, but I do have some faces in my head, and I'm like, oh, I remember that that kid, and that one was Aiden's friend, and he didn't really like that one, or whatever. That one got under his skin, or whatever. So.
Oh yeah. That's true.
That's funny, man. Let's jump into some music, like really jump into some music stuff.
Let's
now.
Let's go.
We kind of started there a little bit, but so kind of I want to know about like your the earliest for you, like what's the first time in your life you can remember saying like, oh my gosh, this song or this artist or this band or whatever is just awesome.
Dang.
The first time you ever remember like loving music,
Oh, okay. I would probably have to say like that would be more like junior high.
Okay.
Really got into Green Day.
Oh, nice.
That was actually the first album I bought.
Which album was it?
Dookie.
Okay.
Dookie.
Yeah.
Bought it at Musicland.
Oh, in the mall? Nice.
Back when you could actually go into the store, listen to it. And it was on cassette.
Okay. Nice, dude.
Yeah. Really aging myself on this one.
You got a cassette of Dookie.
Yeah. I think I still have it somewhere in a box.
I was going to say, it might be worth money these days.
You
probably can't get that anymore.
Probably not. Maybe somewhere on eBay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I remember, going to Musicland, getting that. That was the first one. I was so excited.
Okay.
Throwing that on. I mean, like Longview, Basket Case.
What was your introduction to them? Like, what made you want to buy the tape? Did you see the video for Longview?
No. Because, back in the day, growing up, my parents, we never had cable, so we didn't have MTV.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also, my mom never really liked the the punk or the rock music. She really didn't understand the music videos.
Okay.
And then sometimes music videos, like music video for Basket Case,
Yeah.
She would look at it and be like,
kind of weird.
Should you be watching this?
Yeah. Got the big orange-faced guys and all the weird...
all the different colors. They're in the mental institution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she would have been like, "Oh no, I don't like that. I'm against that."
Okay.
But I used to. What was that radio station back in the day? 97.5 HTY.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Out of Santa Barbara, they used to only play alternative and rock.
Nice.
And I really got into a little bit of Green Day.
Okay.
Loved them, especially the first couple albums were great.
Oh yeah.
And that's how you could say one of my earliest memories of that.
Okay.
I mean, before that, I used to love growing up. I used to love the Beach Boys, the Drifters, the Temptations,
old stuff. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I actually even seen the Temptations in concert.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, they actually came to Santa Maria Fair.
Really?
Years ago.
The Temptations.
Yes.
No way.
It was. I want to say it was at least three out of the 5 original members. Okay. Because I think a couple of them already passed away. Yeah.
They're probably all gone at this point.
I think there's might still be one left.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I heard a radio ad of a oldie R&B cruise. Okay. Where on a cruise ship they have the Temptations and all kinds of other bands.
But he would have been the Temptation.
Yes.
Right. Because there's only one. So just one. No longer.
And then
plural.
The extras.
Yeah, and then some other guys we pulled off the street to play the other parts.
Exactly. So I'm close to the original.
Right.
But yeah, no, I grew up on that because my dad was big 50s and 60s music. Beach Boys, love that.
Nice.
I still have all those lyrics memorized.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, she was into like the big band
Okay.
era.
Okay.
So I grew up listening to all that.
That's
type
awesome.
of music, even classical music.
Okay.
You know, but then when I started getting into the alternative and the rock, that's when I started developing my own taste.
Your own taste, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Green Day was one of those bands. Give me some other ones. What'd you have from that time?
Oh,
that
like from that time, like
Yeah.
I was like Green Day, Offspring was another one.
yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Love that.
What was the Smash album?
Smash
that first
album,
got you?
Bad Habit, that
Yeah.
struck a chord with me. I'm just like,
Because we all couldn't believe what he said. What did he say?
What?
You stupid! It's like, whoa!
Exactly.
My dad, boom, 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 turn that off! What are you doing? You can't play that kind of music in the house.
Exactly. So
Okay.
yeah, get into that, and then from there, it was more. I jumped into more like the heavy metal scene, the Nine Inch Nails.
Okay. Oh, nice.
You know, love Trent Reznor, that guy.
Yeah.
The sound of it was amazing.
Yeah.
But I got into Trent Reznor as Nine Inch Nails, even Marilyn Manson for a little while.
Okay.
You know, of course, that was like more in like my mid-teenage years.
Yeah.
Really pissed off my parents.
That was your rebellious age,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
You know, that and later, you know.
Yeah.
But that really, you know, since that type of music was more like that shock.
Right.
You know, and going through rebellious phases,
yeah.
You gravitate towards stuff like that.
Sure.
You know, so it's like, oh, well, that's getting a reaction out of all these adults, so this must be good.
Yeah, and that's
You
what
know?
that's what all these people that are fighting against that kind of music don't realize, that as you're doing that, you're making him more popular, right? As soon as you're
adding
you
fuel
know,
to the fire.
yeah, the whatever that group, the PMRC or whatever what's that? Is it PMRC? What's that group? The group that was started they're the ones that came out with the parental advisory stickers, and there was big lawsuits when I forgot which album was the first one to ever have a parental advisory, but it was like there was all these. It was some politician. You might be right.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Yeah, because they had a lot of sexual
yeah,
lyrics.
big time.
And Congress was going like,
yes.
no, we got to shut this down.
Right, and there was that whole fight. Yeah, so there was an organization that was started. I think it was PMR. It's an acronym, and I can't remember what it is right now. But they started that whole thing, and they were the ones doing that. But you need to understand, like, do you realize how much of America didn't even know who Two Live Crew was until you had them on the news going, "Oh, we're trying to get this album banned," and blah blah. And everybody's like, "Oh, what's that? What band? Maybe I should check that out."
You put it on the front page,
yes,
where everybody in the world,
yes,
started noticing, like, wait, I need to check this out. Why are you trying to ban this?
Right, and then their album sales go through the roof.
Oh yeah, oh they love
We're
it.
all buying it. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Funky as I Want to Be, I think. Was that what it's called?
I think so. I
Nasty as We Want to Be.
That's it.
I think that was the album that got the first. Yeah, it's got like half naked chicks on the front, and it's like every song is about sex in some way.
Yeah, the CDs used to be behind like a partition.
Yes,
you know, where it's like we're not going to show that in the CD store,
which made it all the more intriguing. You're like, oh, what's in there? You probably wouldn't even have noticed it if it wasn't for that big thing covering it up. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, but no, I got into that. I love the Metallica. Yeah. You know, even like Metallica, Megadeth.
Yeah.
You know, Guns N' Roses. Big Guns N' Roses fan.
Okay.
You know,
nice.
So
that what happened to them? They were great for so long.
They were until drummer dies.
Yeah.
Drug overdose, and then was it when they broke up, and then Axl started thinking he was too big for everything.
I kind of feel like he always thought that.
He did. He had that ego. But like, what frontman really doesn't have that ego?
Especially those 80s bands like that, for sure. But yeah, they had those, first 4 albums were just great.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Appetite for Destruction, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Those, they're still on my iPod that I would not erase.
Yes.
Because it's like, I don't have the CDs anymore of that.
Yeah.
Don't want to, download it. So I'm going to leave it on there. I can always just pop it into my car or my speakers at home, listen to it.
Yeah.
But love the old school like rock ballads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then as like times like as I got up towards like 17, 18 years old, that's when I got more into like more like the hip hop, rap. Dr. Dre.
So this is
Snoop Dogg.
90s. Yeah, Dre and Snoop and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Tupac back. More of the West Coast, like the East Coast. They were good, but I wasn't a Biggie fan.
Okay.
The one from the East Coast I love is Nas.
Thank you.
Yes.
He's the best.
Yes.
He is the best East Coast rapper of all time.
Yes.
Hands down.
He is.
Yeah.
Also one of the greatest storytellers.
Yes.
Yeah. And like a lot of people, especially when I was young, people were like, "Oh, you're just listening to the hip hop. You know, they're just talking about drugs, violence, and then it's like, listen to his stuff.
Right.
You know, he actually has a story behind it.
Yeah.
You know, his there's one song, Book of Rhymes. That right there
Yeah.
is awesome. You know, and then like, you know, he has I Can. Even go back, Illmatic.
Oh, Illmatic
you know?
was the
I
greatest,
love that album.
yeah.
And then,
Or
you know,
even-
later on he comes out with a song saying, you know, I can.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, telling everybody, hey, you can do things.
Sure.
You know, and he's like promoting it for the young kids.
Yeah.
You know?
He became like a role model to a generation. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, amazing
Yeah.
rapper. I mean, the only other East Coast group that or rap that I liked at that time too was Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. Yeah, that's
You
another
know?
good one. Yeah. Just because all those guys were so.
Oh, just
Yeah.
the sound. You know,
Yeah.
was it Cream?
Yeah.
You know, Cash
Yeah.
Rules Everything
Yeah.
Around Me.
Yeah.
You know, that right there, that was awesome. Triumph was a great song.
Right.
Just that intro.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's the best member?
Best member?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the easy
See-
one for me.
What, ODB?
Nope.
No? Method Man?
Yeah.
Method Man?
Method Man to me was always the best. His voice was
See,
amazing.
I liked ODB and RZA.
Okay. Yeah.
RZA, I really like.
Yeah.
Also, they were really big into the kung fu movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, that's where Wu-Tang.
That's where they got their name. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
And-
see GZA was going to be playing at Fremont?
What?
You didn't see that?
Uh-uh.
It got canceled. My coworker and her husband had tickets, and because what was happening over there? It's when the rain. We had this big rainstorm.
And they had to like shut it down.
So
and
they
do
ended up
repairs.
postponing it. It's not until like October or something.
Oh, that would be cool
Yeah.
to see.
Oh yeah. I think it's sold out. I don't think you can get tickets now, but yeah, maybe some people back out, or maybe
Oh, yeah, someone will
get
scalp the tickets.
Yeah, probably.
You know, be like, hey, I'm going to sell them for like triple their
Yeah,
price.
if you want to spend $500 on a ticket to go see him, but yeah. Method Man was always my favorite, and I liked them all. I thought they were all cool. And then everybody always thought Redman was part of Wu-Tang. It's like, no, he's not part of Wu-Tang.
No. He just hung out with Method
Yeah,
Man. And
exactly.
Kind of, like, rode the coattails for a little while until
Yeah.
he got his popularity.
Yeah, and he was in some Wu-Tang songs, and then I think him and Method Man did a couple albums together.
Did a
just
couple
two of them.
albums,
Yeah.
did movies together.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
they got their popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was more always a West Coast.
Yeah. There's a reason for that, because it's better.
Exactly. It's better. We're on the West Coast. This is the best coast.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And we had the better you know, rap.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you that the East Coast, probably the two best East Coast is Nas and Wu-Tang. There's some earlier ones that I grew up on just because the early days of rap were like, it was really before there was a West Coast scene and an East Coast scene. It was just kind of all lumped together. But people like LL Cool J and Slick Rick and you know, some of that stuff, that's what I grew up listening to, along with the East Coast or West Coast of like Too Short and the whole Bay Area scene, Spice One, Amp Banks, all that, and then the whole California stuff, or Southern California with, you know, again, the Easy and NWA Ice Cube. But then we were talking about a few episodes ago, somebody's bringing up like DJ Quick.
Ooh,
And
nice.
his whole crew with like Second to None and AMG and High C and all those guys, dude, those guys were the best, man. That's probably one of my favorite super groups of rap right there. So good, man. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I'm glad you chose the right two on the East Coast.
Yes.
That's good. I'm glad we're in alignment on that. So what about a group? So you're all over the place with music, which
Yes.
is cool. Like there's
Pretty much almost any genre.
So like, what kind of stuff really like impacts you? Like, is there any bands that you could say that literally like changed my life? Has it ever been that deep for you, or has it always been just kind of like, oh, I like the way it sounds, I just rock to it?
That actually, I haven't thought about that.
Okay,
You know, no, that's a good
it's kind of a big question.
It is,
Yeah.
it is, but especially since there's so many great bands that, you know, I listened to and I got into. You know, I know when in the early 2000s, got really into Deftones.
Okay,
You know,
Yeah.
and this was like back in the day when I used to skate all the time, and it was just like that impacted. Just like, well, it was. I don't know if you ever like read their lyrics, but it's like these simple lyrics, but when you hear it, you kind of like, you're like, wait, what is he saying in this?
Okay.
You had to like listen to it,
Yeah.
and then just the emotion behind it, because that's another thing. Like for me with music, is like, okay, I want to know like. What's your like? What are you trying to tell me?
Right.
What's your lyrics?
Yeah.
What's your message? But then also, what's your emotion? You know, if you have a great story, but you have no emotion behind the music,
yeah,
I'm not going to be into it.
right.
You know, but if it's like I turn that on and it's like, wait, there's something like I can resonate emotionally with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It makes it way better, right? Like there's some songs I can listen to just because they sound good. And it doesn't really matter what they're saying. Maybe it's something stupid. Maybe it doesn't make any sense, or maybe I don't even understand it. But it's like it's got a good beat. I'm making me move a little bit, pumping me up a little bit. But then when there's lyrics that just literally like mean something to you, and you're like, whoa. Because then, to me, that's when the band becomes like more than just a sound. It becomes something emotional and spiritual, and it's like, whoa, dude, these guys are like, they're speaking to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
You relate to it.
Yes, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
but Deftones, like I'm actually don't know a whole lot of Deftones stuff.
Their older stuff, older stuff is better. Their newer stuff, they got more away from like the thrash metal and like the harder, faster pace.
Oh, really? They slowed down a little bit?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, because the stuff I've heard is pretty heavy.
You know, it's still heavy. I haven't listened to their newer stuff.
Okay.
But if you go back to their Bored album, which is their first album, that right there, you know, that music video really impacted me because literally they shot this music video in one room at someone's trashed up house.
Oh, yeah?
They put the band in there, everybody's next to the walls, and they're just like bobbing their heads to the music, and then right when it gets into the heavy part, everybody just starts moshing.
Oh, really?
And
in the house?
In the house.
Nice.
You got people just rushing through the room, and like for me, like I saw that music video, I'm just like, yes, that's what I want to do. You know, but also, you know, being like 19, 20 years old, it's like, all right, I need an outlet to get rid of like everything I feel, and that helped me. Yeah. You know, I used to put that on when I used to train, when I go skating. Yeah. You know, I mean, I used to when I used to skate, I used to bring like this good old boom box and just like crank it up. Nice. You know, like people in the area, they always got pissed. Yeah. You know, but at the same time, I'm like, no, like you know, you can tell me to turn it down. I'll be nice to you, and I might turn it down. But no, I need to get everything out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
that's cool. What's the singer's name for that group? I don't know if I heard it, but he did the
Chino.
Yeah, there you go. He did. Korn covered Ice Cube's "Wicked," and that guy was featured in that song. Oh, so if you never heard that, you should check it out. It's a pretty good cover.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's an old Ice Cube song, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Korn's another band I got into too.
Yeah.
That right there, like the bass riff, their sound is so unique.
For sure.
You know. And really love that, like "Freak on the Leash."
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Yeah, they were
cool.
Know,
even was it Trash, Alone? You know, those songs, they were just
some good
amazing.
Stuff.
Chutes and Ladder, Blind.
Yeah.
The opening riff, was just like, the moment I hear that, I'm like, I'm not turning this off. You know, I don't care if my baby's about to sleep. Nope, I'm leaving this on.
Yeah. No country for you yet. You can sleep in a minute.
Exactly.
You know?
This is Korn. You're going to learn about them.
Yeah. And Korn got me into Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
which I liked even more than Korn for a while because they were just, they were doing something all new.
They blew up so big. Oh, dude,
so awesome.
You know, I had was it $3 bill?
Yeah, that was the first
album.
one. Yeah,
you know, even the hidden track at the very, very end.
What was it? Faith? No, Faith was just on there.
Faith was on there.
The cover. I don't remember the hidden track.
There, I would have to go back because I don't remember the name of it.
Okay,
but there's a hidden track at the end of.
Was it a real song or was it like a goofy?
No. Okay. I think it was the last track. Just went on for a while. Kind of like I know Nine Inch Nails used to do that a lot. Yeah, you know that's how I stumbled upon "Hurt." Okay. That is my absolute favorite Nine Inch Nails song.
Okay.
Even
Johnny Cash did it better, dude.
He did.
He just did.
He did. No. When Johnny Cash did that, I turned to my best friend at the time. I was like, "Yeah, Trent Reznor." He's second place now. Right. I was all like, Johnny Cash on that song.
At least on that song.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It almost sounds like Trent wrote it for Johnny. That's what it sounds like. You know, because he just did it so well. And I never even heard it until... Well, I first heard it on the trailer for Logan. The movie with Hugh Jackman, you know, the Wolverine movie. Because that was the whole song and the whole trailer. And I was going, man, I said, this sounds like Johnny Cash.
You never heard it before that?
No.
Oh.
And I didn't even know. So I was into Nine Inch Nails, but it was like Pretty Hate Machine and like Closer and some of those ones. But I didn't even know that was... When I first heard it, I thought it was a Johnny Cash original song. I didn't find out till later that it was a cover. And I was like, oh, it's a cover song? And it's by Nine Inch Nails? I was like, wait, what? And I couldn't even picture in my head what that would sound like. So I went and listened to Nine Inch Nails one. I'm like, yeah, it's a good song, but like Johnny Cash's version is way better.
Yeah, he took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, totally.
And not that many people knew. Well, they knew about Nine Inch Nails version. Yeah. But the album, because I think it was the Nine Inch Nails Broken album. It only had like I think 6, 7, maybe 8 songs on it.
Yeah.
But the last song was 99 minutes long.
Oh, because there was a hidden track.
Yeah, because there was on that track. There's only a 2-minute song at the beginning. Yeah. And then
like 60 minutes of nothing.
I stumbled upon it because I had the album. I didn't know there was a hidden track.
Yeah.
And like back when I was a teenager, I used to always fall asleep to heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah, no. I could sleep through anything.
Interesting.
You know, so I have Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Limp Bizkit,
to go to
Smashing
sleep
Pumpkins, whatever it was, just so playing. Funny. I'm like,
that's crazy, dude. See, I can't even. It's got to be mellow for me to go to sleep.
Oh no, yeah. My brain was wired different, especially back then.
Okay.
You know, but I was dead asleep. Mm-hmm. It hit that track, and I remember my CD player had the little timer, and it would count how long the song's been playing.
Okay.
And like I woke up, I'm like, why is the music off?
Yeah.
And look, and it's like 97 minutes. And I'm like,
wow. And
I was about to hit stop, and then next you know, I start hearing the guitar for Hurt. That little sound.
Okay.
And I listened to that, and I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing.
So wait, so that song was originally out as a hidden track on the album?
Yes.
It wasn't even a normal
It was
song.
not on any normal, like, it wasn't on the list. That you flip the CD around or the album cover around, and you get all the songs that are listed.
Yep.
Nope,
it's not on there. Okay, interesting.
And that's how I stumbled upon it.
Okay,
but then like years down the road, when he let Johnny Cash do it, that like even like watching the music video. Oh, have you seen the music video for it?
For the Johnny Cash one?
The Johnny Cash one. Watch that.
Okay,
because that's the last song Johnny Cash ever recorded.
Oh, no way.
That was his last song before he passed away. And he was there, his wife was there in the music video. And then there's one part that always gets me, and it's like, when he's like, my empire of dirt.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, he's pouring this cup out. And you can see how old Johnny Cash is. But then also the emotion was putting into it. It just, that music video was amazing.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the song's emotional as it is.
Oh,
without even the visual.
The music video will make it even more emotional.
Okay.
It hits deeper.
Oh, dude.
But
that's so awesome.
Like, Johnny Cash was amazing.
Okay.
And then like after, like since you brought up Limp Bizkit, that one I was into Limp Bizkit a lot too. Mm-hmm. In that, had
so good, dude.
Had their album, still rock it. I mean, it'll still get people pumped up.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. Because like the $3 bill, y'all was good. Mm-hmm. But to me, dude, when the Significant Other, and then even more so, and I know this is a totally unpopular opinion, I think Chocolate Starfish for them was their best.
You think that one was the best?
Yes.
That had some great hits.
I think that's where that's where that sound really, like, because I started to go a little bit away from the heavy from $3 bill, and Significant Other was a little more with the scratching and the hip-hoppy, more like Durst vocals became a little more polished as opposed to the, you want to play that? Being all like screaming. And I was like, okay, cool. And you got these like hip hop beats going with it and stuff. Okay, this is really cool. But then on Chocolate Starfish, dude, I was like, oh my gosh, dude, you got like The One and what was that? Rollin', and dude, some of those songs are just like so, because they're pump up, but they're vibey too at the same time. And he did that song with Exhibit.
Oh yes,
that's on there.
Wait, no. In Together was with Method Man.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Get Your Groove On.
Yes. But both those songs are awesome. Mm-hmm. But as soon as that beat comes in, the one with Exhibit, where it's like got that like piano, like and it's like oh my gosh, dude, it's like this is the greatest thing ever. Mm-hmm. So I loved it, but a lot of people hated that album.
Oh yeah, no, there's some people hate Fred Durst.
They went soft. Mm-hmm. Fred Durst is a weenie now, It's like,
you're like, but he made his money.
He did.
He made his mark on the music business.
He did, yeah.
For me, $3 bill.
That's your favorite one.
Is the favorite one.
Okay.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Faith was good. Even though that's a
Faith.
George Michael's.
It was, cover. Yeah. That's why it was so funny because they're taking this song.
Well, see,
I guess it would be nice. It's like this, like totally, and he's like totally, and that's the way they start. But then it gets all heavy. It's like, dude.
See, I never I heard Faith from Limp Bizkit first.
Oh, really?
Then George Michael, and I'm sitting there, I was like, because like I remember it was like probably like half a year after it came out.
Yeah.
I'm listening just radio, and it's like one of the easy listening stations, and it comes on. I'm like, why does this sound like? This sounds just like Limp Bizkit's Faith,
right?
And they're like, that was George Michael.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? No,
like this guy stole their song.
Exactly. It's like they're like, no. He came out with it first. I'm like, no, he was soft. Limp Bizkit wouldn't cover a song like that.
Right.
It's
right.
like, no, they did.
They did. They did, and I think that was part of like why. Because they were like, what if we took this song that's real mellow and kind of, real popular poppy song, and make it rockin', and that's why it's so cool. They started out in that song like mellow, like the George Michael one. Just a straight cover, but then when it gets all heavy in there, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool,
Oh, yeah.
Like you mentioned Pennywise a while ago. Remember when they did "Stand by Me"? So that's the same kind of. I don't know if you ever heard that cover. It's on one of their earliest Pennywise albums. They did
the
"Stand by
R&B
Me."
"Stand by Me."
Yeah, when the night has come.
Now I'm going to have to definitely go back and find that because
it starts like that. It sounds like they're just covering the old mellow song, and then it's so darling, stand, and it gets all fast by me, and the riff comes in. It's this fast punk song, and it's really, really cool.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's early. It's like before it's off one of the EPs that came out before their self-titled first album.
Oh, okay.
So it's like in the late '80s, I think, is when that one came out. So.
Yeah, because like Pennywise, like Society, of course, Bro Hymn.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's the classic. Yeah,
I got into him a little bit. I got more into the Bad Religion than Pennywise.
Okay, yeah. I would probably say Bad Religion is better than Pennywise too. But the About Time album for me with Pennywise is just that. To me, that's probably in my top 5 greatest punk albums of all time.
Oh, nice.
Just that album.
What's your number one punk album?
Well, my favorite album of all time happens to be a punk album, so that's an easy one for me to answer, and it's Milo Goes to College by Descendants.
Oh, okay.
1982, which is weird because generally 80s punk is not my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm more into the 90s kind of skate punk, but the 80s, the 82 that Milo Goes to College, dude, it's just phenomenal. It really paved the way for kind of a more melodic kind of punk, in a sense. Even though it was heavy, it was fast and it was heavy. But like Descendants, are you familiar with Descendants at all?
A little bit. I heard them, but never was really like got into them.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah. You gotta give yourself a shot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
And you just give it to yourself, huh?
Yeah. Ever since my, because when I got diagnosed as a diabetic, I was actually hospitalized for almost 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, the doctor told me if I waited any longer, I would, pretty much I was a week away from death. My blood sugars were over 600. My blood was acidic, and ketones in my bloodstream, everything like that.
Yeah.
I was severely dehydrated, and at first I thought I had pleurisy or pneumonia or something.
Right.
You know.
Did you have a lot of congestion in your lungs?
No. I had pleurisy, when I was in my mid-20s.
Okay.
And it just felt like someone was just stabbing me in my back. I had trouble breathing.
Oof.
And, got over that. And then when I was 31, that's when the whole diabetes started kicking in.
Okay.
And there was some, thinking back, there's some tell signs.
Yeah.
Of a couple years before that where it's eyesight wasn't that good.
Right.
Or especially when I was in my late 20s. And I would have a beer.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I drink a beer.
It puts you out.
Yeah, because, beer is pretty much just liquid carbs.
Right.
And that just shoots the blood sugar up.
Yeah.
And, back then it's I was drinking sugary sodas, eating whatever I wanted.
Right.
And it would just knock me out. And my buddies back in the day, they would give me so much crap for it. They'd be like, dude, you drink one beer and you're already passing out. I'm like,
what a lightweight.
Yeah, I'm like, I save money. Also, I'm tired.
Right, right.
But then later on, then it's that's the reason, my pancreas was shutting down. And
dude, that's so weird.
Oh, yeah.
Was it run in your family?
My uncle on my dad's side.
Okay.
He was type 1.
Okay.
And he was type 1, and he found out when he was 8 years old.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this was in the early 50s,
Yeah.
And he actually lived to be in his 90s.
Oh, dang, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, he had trouble with his legs, but that was because he had a little bit of polio when he was a kid.
Oh, okay.
And so he had crutches his whole life. But yeah, no, he was in his 90s before he passed away. His blood sugar, he was able to manage it good.
Right.
And I was able to pick his brain a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But he lived in Wisconsin, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
So it was we didn't communicate that much.
Yeah.
you know. But when I was diagnosed, you know, they like I went to urgent care and the guy was like, all right, well here, I need you to go pee in the cup, do this, and then like I get done and he walks in, he's like, by chance, are you diabetic? And I'm like, no. He's like, you are now.
I love it.
And I was like, and they're like, here, you need to take yourself to the ER and get checked in.
Right.
You know, I was like, am I good to drive?
Yeah.
And they're like, you drove here, you're good.
Yeah.
You'll make it.
Yeah.
You know, so I drive over there, and this is before they finished the new wing.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
yeah.
waiting. They put me in a room, or in one of the ER rooms, hooked him up to IV. All right. I was there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I did not get into a room until about like 11:30, 12:30 at night. So I was sitting in the ER room for like 11 hours. Wow. You know, and my phone died. You know, I kept asking for a magazine. They didn't bring a magazine. There's this on like where the door was or the curtain. There was this picture of a lighthouse on the side of a hill overlooking the ocean. I have that permanently imprinted in my head because like there's nothing to do. I'm sitting there just stuck to IV, and I'm all like, you know, people are walking past and forth. There's no one else in my room. I'm going bored to death.
You don't have a phone.
Nope.
You can't like play Angry Birds or something, you know?
Can't do anything. You know, no magazine. I don't have a pencil or a piece of paper to do anything. So I'm sitting there. I can still draw. I'm a crappy drawer, but I can still draw that picture.
Really?
You know,
because you stared at it for so long.
So long. I'm sitting there just like, okay, there's the green hill, there's the lighthouse over there, the red top, the ocean in the back, the one tree in the back corner. Yeah, and then they finally got me to a room, and like by that time, like I went through like 7 bags of IV.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah, no,
That's terrible.
No,
it's like not taking care of you at all.
No, well, luckily they had me hooked up to IV, so that's good. You know, because they were just like they would stop in every couple hours and just like, okay, well, let's just check your blood sugar. You know, and then that night they hooked me up to a potassium drip, still IVs, waking me up every hour. You know, just to check my blood. Yeah. And then like my roommate, I kind of wish my roommate was like young enough to actually talk to, because I found out he was actually a World War II bomber.
Oh, dude.
He was in his late 90s. You know, but he was asleep most of the time. You know, downside he had a colostomy bag. Ugh. Yeah, no, the orderly dropped it.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. That like I remember like 3 o'clock in the morning. I hear him rustling around, and then I see like next you know you hear boom, and there's just this jug of stuff, and I'm all like, and like you could smell it. And this was up.
I would have thrown up, dude.
Oh, I was about to. Yeah. Like luckily I have a strong stomach. For smells. Yeah. But they won't even let you open the windows. You know, because it's a hospital, they don't let anybody try to escape or jump out. Right. You know, but I'm like, it's killing me. Yeah. You know, but other than that, like, you know, he just slept. Like, I talked to him a little bit, but he wasn't that coherent. I was like, man, I want to hear some stories. Yeah. I want to talk to you. Yeah. You know, but I was there for, about a day and a half almost. So, and then.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah. And the doctor was just telling me, he's like, if you didn't come in, he's like, and you waited longer than a week, he's like, you've been dead.
Just been gone,
Yeah. And so ever since then, like every single day, injections. Yeah. I'm lucky the nurse, she was bringing my insulin in, and she was like filling it up for me and showing me, and then she goes, here. And I'm like, wait, aren't you going to stab me? She's like,
she want you to do it.
Yeah, she's like, you're going to do it yourself. I was like, come on, please. And, you know, because it's like, I've never been a big fan of needles.
Me neither.
You know, I mean...
I can't even watch when they do blood. I gotta look over here.
Like, I can do that. Like, I have no problem, like, watching the needle go into me. But it was me putting the needle into myself. Right. You know? And it's like, no, I don't want to do this. And, like, she's like, no, you're going to have to do this every single day. Right. I sat there for, like, 5 minutes, it felt like. And my hand's in there just shaking and shaking. And she's like... Don't worry, she's like, it doesn't hurt. Right. I'm like, the needle's like that long. Yeah. You know, she's like, you won't even feel it. She just go into your stomach and just stab it in. I'm
like, you had to put it in your stomach?
That's one of the areas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like the stomach is the area that will absorb it the best. Yeah. I mean, you could do it in your thighs, even in your butt cheeks if you wanted to. Yeah. Your upper arms.
Okay.
But your stomach is the one that will absorb it the
fastest.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Okay.
So did that and been doing that ever since.
So do you ever have a time where I saw your little monitor tells you your blood sugar? Is there ever a day where you don't need insulin?
No,
Always.
because there's two types. So you got long-lasting insulin, which kind of once you inject it, usually like once a day.
Okay.
And it lasts for about 24 hours. But think of it as like a slow release. So you put it in, and it will slowly keep a level of insulin in your body. Then you have fast-acting stuff that will act within 15 minutes or 30 minutes of injection.
Wow. Okay.
And that's what you use to battle like your carb intake.
Okay.
So whatever food you're eating, it's like, all right, well, hey, I want to have that sandwich from Wendy's.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, that right there is like 50 carbs. So you need to have this much units, inject it.
It's like preventative almost.
Yes.
In that case, it's not an emergency. Like I'm really low. I need this right now, this very second, or else I'm gonna have to go to the hospital.
Yeah. No. And usually, like when you're low, you need food. You need sugars to bring it up. When it's high, then you need the insulin to bring it down.
Oh, that's what it's doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because your pancreas is the one that produces your insulin.
Yeah.
So your pancreas is the one that's like, I tell everybody, don't take that thing for granted.
Okay.
It doesn't just help with your blood sugars. It helps with your mood control.
Okay.
Because when my blood sugars are going up and down, especially in like my first couple of years, I didn't really know how to keep it in control like I do now. Like now it's still a juggling act, but before I'm following basically guidelines from a doctor.
Okay.
And it's a very broad guideline, and also they don't tell you at the beginning that everybody's different.
Right.
I could have the exact same meal every single day at the exact same time. And let's say I need 2 units to take care of all the carbs for this meal. Well, next day, I could take the same food, same amount of insulin, and it impacts me differently. So it's like, this day, those 2 units, that leveled off the carbs, did not make my blood sugar rise up too much, and then leveled out. And then tomorrow, I did the same thing, but now, the insulin's kicking in better,
Isn't that
and now
weird?
it just drops.
That's so weird. You think it would be the same. Like
You would think so,
Your
but-
body's the same, but I guess your body's not. It changes. So
Yeah, it's
Weird.
it's a mini universe you got inside of you.
Yeah.
And it's always moving, always changing.
Okay.
And it's a juggling act. Also, when I first started, I didn't have the best doctors on my side.
Okay.
They dealt with a lot of type 2 diabetes.
Right.
Which is different in managing than type 1.
Yeah, because you can get rid of that just by losing weight and changing
Losing
your diet.
weight, diet, exercise.
Type 1, there's no. I mean, you have that. You need
my
insulin
pancreas
every day.
is dead.
Right.
Never coming back.
Right.
Eventually they'll find a cure.
Yeah. Or maybe a pancreas. What do you call it?
Transplant.
Transplant.
They have them.
Okay.
But the downside about any pancreas transplant or insulin transplant is you have to be on immune suppressants for your life. And there's not that high of a percentage of success from it.
Plus, you got to live in a bubble after that, right? Because you can get sick so easy.
Yeah, and even like when I first got diagnosed, my doctors were like, it kind of scared me a little bit because they're like, you gotta be careful of your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
You get cuts on your feet. You gotta be very careful. Don't go walking anywhere barefoot.
Which you is barefoot all the time, right?
Oh yeah. No, one doctor told me, so like next time you go to the beach, never take your shoes off.
Oh, come on.
And I'm sitting there like,
Then why go to the beach?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, I love the beach.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised here in Santa Maria.
Right.
Been going to Pismo Beach, Avila Beach,
Yeah.
all up and down Guadalupe Beach, Santa Barbara side, everything. And I'm always in the water. I'm always feet in the sand, water, no shoes.
Right.
It's like I want to feel it.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, let me tell you this story. And then it's like, this guy got this cut on his foot, and then it got infected, and then he had to have his foot amputated. And so I'm sitting there like, oh man, okay.
Not in your line of work. You can't lose a foot, man. That's going to be a big deal.
Exactly. It's like, then I just do, instead of just doing the kicking, then we just do the grappling.
Or you get a metal prosthetic foot, and that'll hurt a lot more hitting somebody in the head. You'll be winning these tournaments. Guys like, man, that guy's roundhouse is something else. It's like I got hit with an anvil or something.
They're like, yes, I got the robotic one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
but
Okay.
It is what it is, know. So it's. I'm just glad that I got diagnosed when I did.
Yeah.
Because, my childhood, my 20s, I had all that to kind of like enjoy life without this parameter set on me.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I got my craziness, gone out of my system, and then God in the universe was like, boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's diabetes.
There you go.
I mean, the year before that, I actually tore my meniscus in my knee, had surgery on that. Wow. Then the next year was diabetes.
Yeah.
Luckily, nothing happened after that.
Okay.
But then, like 4 years later, I tore my other meniscus on my other knee. So my 30s were rough.
All from like doing karate stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. My left knee, my first time tearing my meniscus was in a soccer game.
Oh.
Because I grew up playing soccer.
Yeah.
And I used to play actually over here at Crossroads.
Okay, yeah.
At the men's league.
Yeah, the one that fills up with water.
Yep,
Take a little boat out there.
Exactly. The city swimming pool.
Yeah.
So I used to play on a couple teams over there. And one game, towards the end of the game, like I remember in the beginning of the game, I did this jump and I just felt something like pull on my knee. And I'm like, I kept moving. I'm like, it doesn't feel that bad. I can work through it.
Walk it off.
Yeah, I've played through pain. Doing martial arts, doing soccer.
Right.
I played soccer with broken fingers.
Gosh,
I've trained with broken ribs. It's like you kind of get used to that discomfort.
Yeah.
But then playing for the men's league, I made a pass, went to pivot at 180, and then just run. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I moved, my leg didn't. And I just hear pop, pop, pop.
Killing me.
No, I dropped and I could not move my leg. It was frozen in a 3/4 bent position.
Was it painful? Did it hurt?
Actually no.
Okay.
No, it was like, thank God it was a blessing like that.
Yeah. And I've heard that. People that told me they've gotten that exact injury and they say that there's like not a lot of pain involved.
Yeah, no.
Which is weird.
It's almost, to me, it was more of a frustration because like imagine like it's almost like if back in the day when you're a kid and someone like you're in the beach and someone buries you in the sand, but they bury you enough where you can't really move. That's what it felt like.
It's like claustrophobic almost.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so like my teammates, it was like right towards the end of the game, and it was, if we won the game, we would have gone into the playoffs and moved on. And so they literally just run over, grab me, go over to the side of the field, drop me, sub.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, anyone going to take care of me? You know, some guy came over, some little the frozen spray.
Oh yeah.
And like, shh. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think that's going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. And then my best friend, he was playing on the team with me, and it was crazy because 3 games before that, he tore his meniscus and his MCL in a slide tackle.
In the same.
Not in the same game, but in the same season.
Okay.
So it was 3 weeks before that. Oh. And he came over and, he had his big old knee brace on and he's like helping me off like around the field. And then my coach is like, can you go back on? I'm like, no, dude, I'm done. I
don't think you realize the severity of this injury. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that was when I tore that one. Okay. I wish I had a great story for my right one.
No. Are you just getting out of bed or something? You're just walking down the street?
No, I was actually at the dojo. It was the only time it actually happened at training. But it was towards the end of our last class. I'm sitting there, I'm watching one of our students do a kata.
Yeah.
And I was sitting down, just cross-legged. And then he got done and I was like, okay, I was going to show him a certain section that he was kind of like needing to improve on. I was like, I want it see done like this. And I just stood straight up. And right as I stood straight up, rip. And I was all like, ooh, that doesn't feel good. I'm like, okay, I'll show you later.
Yeah. Was this a whole class of students or was it just a personal
no, there's only like, our last class was adults and teens. So it was like, we had like maybe like 10 students on the mat.
Okay.
So it wasn't that much.
But they were all there when you did this.
But they just thought, they're like, wait, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. All right, keep training, And make matters worse is like I got checked out by my doctor and they're like, all right, well, we'll put you on the schedule. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Seattle for a week, because myself, my wife, well, she was my girlfriend at the time, and my best friend, we were going up there for vacation.
Oh, nice.
You know, and so we're like, no, we had everything planned. We're like, we're going to Seattle, then we're going over to Leavenworth. We even went up to the western point of the United States.
Oh, wow.
Ney Bay. It's like literally like all the way up to the top part of Washington.
Okay.
And like you looking across the water, you can see Canada.
Oh, okay. I've been up in that area before. We could see Canada. We ate at a Chinese restaurant where we could see Canada from it, but we were still in Washington.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the town we were in.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. I love that area.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And we were hiking trails. We went to Mount Rainier.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yep.
And like I'm walking on a torn meniscus all through town. I'm like, you know, my wife. She was like, "Wait, are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's sore, but I got this." You know, I had a brace on it. Yeah. And then when I came back, I did the surgery, and they were trying to reconnect things. Yeah. Couldn't reconnect it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you walked on it too long, probably.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But also, I'm actually glad that he didn't reconnect it, because the reconnection would actually make the rehab longer.
Oh.
And it could tear more later. You know, and since I already gone through one, I was like, well, if I strengthen up my quads and my calves, and you know, more, then that's going to prevent all that tension and pressure on my knees.
Right.
So I'll do that. You know, and he you know, went in for the surgery. He was like, yep. He's like, you don't have any meniscus on that side. You know,
it's all gone.
Oh yeah, but no, I had a great doctor.
Okay.
You know, guy up in Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
Amazing work.
Nice.
You know, it's better than the guy they were going to stick with me with here in Santa Maria.
Yeah.
You know, that guy, luckily he's not doing medicine anymore, but he held up my radiograph and his hand was shaking. And I'm like, I'm going to get someone else to do my surgery. And he's like, listen, I've been doing knee surgery since the 80s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's the point.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah, you're old. Like,
yeah.
I think he actually retired the following year.
Good.
You know, which is good because
after a few malpractice suits, probably.
Right? I guarantee. He has some, you know, but the guy up in Santa Barbara, he like I walk in, he had personally autographed pictures from like Chuck Liddell, Kelly Slater, the surfer, people from the U.S. men's national soccer team. And so the moment I was in there, I was like, okay, this is good.
Like I'm with the right people now.
Yeah, and he said, he's like, hey, do what I say, I can get you back to 100%.
Wow.
And all the other doctors I saw, they're like, we can get you back to 70 to 80%. I'm like, that's not good enough. I was like, I need to keep doing what I need.
Was he telling the truth though? Did you get back to 100%?
Yeah. No, actually, like what's crazy is even though I don't have any meniscus left in my knee, like my legs are stronger than they were before. Probably because you know it forced me to work out more.
Right.
You know, which is good.
Yeah.
But doing that helped out a lot.
Okay. Wow, man. All right. So you asked me a while back about my favorite album, and now I want to know what's your favorite punk album of all time? Because it was easy. You gave me an easy one. You asked for my favorite punk album. It just happens to be my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
So that was easy for me.
Okay. Favorite punk album?
What about a favorite punk band? Do you even have a favorite punk band, or is that hard too?
That's hard. I mean, I would have to go. It would have to be Bad Religion or Offspring.
Okay.
Though would be like I would lean a little bit more towards Bad Religion.
Okay.
I don't really have like per se like album from Bad Religion that I like the most.
That's your favorite? Okay.
It's more like the certain songs.
Okay.
You know, top song from Bad Religion for me is Sorrow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Love that one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I grew up on, you know, Infected, 21st Century.
Yeah.
You know, all those.
Yeah.
But Sorrow is my absolute number one.
Sorrow was later, right? Is that like 2006? Something like that?
I think so.
Yeah. Is that off of A Process of Belief, maybe? Or is that...
Maybe. Like, I don't have all the...
Yeah, I don't either. Memorized. You think I would, considering we just did that whole episode on it. But that's why I was glad I had three other people.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to keep track of all the albums a band releases.
Especially when a band's been around since the 80s. It's like, dang it, like early 80s, those guys have been still putting out stuff. But did you see that Bad Religion and Offspring just played together in Bakersfield?
Oh, they did?
Yeah. You missed it, man.
That would have been a great concert.
I bet. I didn't go. But the two of the people that did that episode with me, they went.
They went?
Yeah.
Oh,
the dad and the daughter that were a part of that episode, they went to that show. So
yeah, so I would have to say like if it was like one album, it would probably be like Offspring Smash.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That's their best one. Mm-hmm. I mean, and people debate that because they say that that's when they sold out. That's when they went mainstream. That was their first album that everybody knew who they were, right? But I mean, there's stuff all around that was great too. But dude, just the songs on Smash are so.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, even the opening, just with that guy talking, and then it goes right into Nitro. You know, dude, just that. I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, whoa, you know, because I mean, like most people, I think the first song I ever heard by Offspring was "Come Out and Play," which is great, but it's not really their style. It's more kind of one of their funnier songs. Like later on, they do "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" and "Original Prankster" and those kind of songs. But like, I remember I got the Smash album, and I was like, oh my gosh! I remember going to Rigetti. I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and people always knew me as the guy with the earbuds in all the time.
Oh, okay.
That was before they were wireless, so I had the cord going up under my shirt, right, plugged into the little Walkman I had in my pocket, and I used to play Smash all the time, and just every song on that album was just phenomenal.
Oh, nice.
Every single one, dude. But yeah, like you, was when I first heard Bad Habit. I was like,
me and my buddies drive around town.
Yeah, dude.
And we'd be in like this tiny little Chevy Sprint.
Yeah.
Little tiny, like, this car is like, like you can fit it easily in your house.
Yeah.
You know, and we would be cranking that thing.
That's the ultimate road rage song, Just,
yes.
If you want to get road rage, you put that on,
That's when we actually understood road rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that would have to be probably like my
Okay.
favorite punk one.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All
Even
right.
though it's like, I've never seen, like the only punk people I've seen in concert is like Flogging Molly.
Okay.
Except for one. I don't know if you've heard, but have you ever heard of Good Riddance?
Oh, yeah. Totally, dude.
I saw them in Santa Barbara years ago.
What year? Do you remember?
I want to...
Is this like 90s or 2000s?
No. This is early 2000s.
Okay.
Because it was probably around like 2001 or 2002.
Okay.
And they played at the Living Room in Santa Barbara.
In Goleta.
Yeah, in Goleta.
No one's ever heard of that place, dude. You're the first person. Yes.
Yes.
I've been there a few times. Yeah, I didn't see Good Riddance there. I saw AFI there.
Wait, you saw AFI there? Oh.
AFI played there, right? It was right when like Black Sails came out. It was before they went huge, before everybody knew who they were. But like Black Sails had come out and the All Hallows EP was out. And they had like jack-o'-lanterns up on the stage. Davey comes out. He's all goth. He's got that. That was the first time I ever seen him like that. Because I first started liking them more in the punk stuff, like the skate punk, I should say, like Very Proud of You and those kind of albums. But yeah, he came out, face is all white. He's got the black hair, and just like total gothic, and it was really cool. But yeah, I mentioned that show on this show lots of times, and I say, the Living Room. I'll say Ventura Theater, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah,
they've heard that." Seen lots of shows. Yeah, not that many people heard of the Living Room. There used to be a place
called the Living Room in Goleta, and they had couches out, and it was really cool. It was like a small little venue.
Couches on the back wall.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it was really cool, and it was neat because it wasn't as big as Ventura Theater, but there were some cool bands.
That was like one of the best small shows I've seen, and there because like especially around here, we don't get that many. Big names, or like people that put on like great shows. Right. There is some small shows or like some bands that have gone popular. Because I saw Good Riddance there. In another place in Santa Barbara, I saw Mad Caddies.
Oh, nice!
I've seen them.
They're local.
Twice.
They're from Solvang.
Yeah.
Mad Caddies are great, dude. That's probably my favorite ska band of all time. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. No, have you heard their rendition of Green Day's "She"?
Yes. I have that whole album. The whole covers album they did. What was that one called? Oh, I forgot what it was called. But yeah, it's a great cover album. Yeah, they do a Bad Religion song on there too. I forgot which one.
I forget the one too.
Is it Sorrow?
I don't know. I don't think it's Sorrow. Yeah, because my good friend of mine, her and her sisters and her cousins were like massive Mad Caddy fans. Yeah. And they're the ones that introduced us to them in like the early 2000s. Okay. And I've literally seen Mad Caddies in a small bar that could only hold 100 people. Yeah. And we were packed in there. They had the brass instruments going on. Yeah. And it was like right next to what's called the Funk Zone now. Okay. It's like in that area.
Okay. That's cool, man.
Oh, but it was.
It is Sorrow.
Oh, they did Sorrow?
The album's called Punk Rock Steady in 2018, and it's a total covers album. They did Sorrow by Bad Religion. Sleep Long by Operation Ivy, She by Green Day, Nation States by Propagandhi. Yeah, they do a No Effects song, Lagwagon, Misfits, Against Me. Oh, they do Gene is Dead by Descendants too. But yeah, it's neat because they're like ska versions of these songs. So if you've never heard that version of Sorrow,
I'll have to check that out because I really like their cover of Sheep.
Yeah, that's
that
a cool
one was good.
Yeah.
So
that's such a great Green Day song too. I remember when I first heard that one too. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of the mellower song on the album, but really cool.
But no, seen them up in the Santa Barbara area.
Okay.
San Ynez area. That was a good show. I saw them at the Maverick.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's go back to Good Riddance.
Good Riddance.
Because that's one of my all-time favorite bands too. And
Last Believer is an amazing
dude,
song. I love that song.
Such a good song.
When that went on, like in the living room, there was only maybe like 75 people there.
Okay.
It was like a small show, but everybody was energized.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you could just feel the energy in there.
Right.
Go in there, like you could be up front next to the stage if you want to, or if you go back to the nasty couches.
Yeah.
You know,
that's cool. I've never seen them live. They're one of those bands. Same with Pennywise. I've never seen Pennywise live. I've had opportunities and it just hasn't happened. And those are probably the two of when it comes to the '90s punk bands. Of my favorites anyway. Good Riddance and Pennywise are the ones that are on the list I've never seen. I've seen almost all the other ones.
Yeah, because I never heard of Good Riddance until that show.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I was like, wait, like Last Believer just stuck in my head.
That's a great song.
And I was like, no, I gotta listen to more of this. And then find out that they were from the Bay Area,
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like big up there. I was like,
oh yeah.
Wait, they're never even heard of them.
Well, they've always actually they've been on Fat Records since day one, and they still are today. And I want to say they just announced that they have a new album that they're
still putting music
out.
out?
Yeah. Woo. I think as of now, their last one came out in like 2022, 2023.
Oh,
still
dang.
great too. Still sounds like their old kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's called something Pieces in the title. Because they broke up. They had a live album that they put out that was their final show. You know how so many bands do this, right? It's our final show. Everybody come see us. We'll record it live. And then like 5 years later, they're like, on second thought. Yeah, exactly.
We got to do another reunion. We're broke.
Yeah. But they were on Fat Records, which was one of the bigger labels in the 90s, owned by the guy from NoFX. And that had a bunch of cool bands on there. That's most of the punk bands I got introduced to in the 90s were from Fat Records. So that's how I got into Good Riddance to begin with. Those compilations you could get for like $3 that have like 20 songs by 20 different bands off that label. And you're like, oh my gosh. Which would lead you to buy their albums. You're like, okay, I got to get that whole thing. But yeah, but Last Believer is one of their best songs for sure.
Definitely.
Hands down, yeah. Such a pump-uppy kind of song. But yeah. Those guys are like activists too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, big time. Like, I don't know if you've heard, because the singer, I don't know if the whole band is or just the singer is a vegan.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
They got a lot of songs about that. Yeah.
Did not know that.
They're what a lot of people call a preachy band, in a sense, right? Because
okay.
they're very politically, their lyrics are politically motivated, and a lot of stuff about, going green and vegetarianism, veganism, that kind of stuff. So
Hey, more power to them.
Yeah, I mean, and back when I first started listening to them, I was a vegetarian. So for me, it was these guys are speaking my language. Yeah, for a long time, for 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a vegetarian from, I think, sophomore year in high school up until Bethany was pregnant with Addie, and that's when I started eating meat again. So, and Bethany's still a vegetarian. She has been. Yeah.
Wow.
She'll eat some fish here and there, but nothing else.
See, I can't do that. I give people props to do that because that takes a lot of discipline.
Oh, yeah.
And if you got discipline to like cut out meat in certain foods, it's like great.
Yeah.
I love food. So
me too.
Whatever it is, I will eat.
Okay. You're not real picky?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I mean, like, I'll eat anything. As long as it's not Brussels sprouts or asparagus, I'm good.
Okay, see? I like both those.
See?
I hated Brussels sprouts for years. Because whenever I had them, they were bitter. Like, you get to the center, it was like, oh, what is that bitterness, right? Mm-hmm. And then when my daughter got married, her husband was telling me, well, this might be before they got married, but he's like, no, you've never had my Brussels sprouts. I go, nah, dude, there's no way. They're nasty. They're the grossest thing. He goes, like I said, they're bitter in the center. And he goes, if they're bitter in the center, that means somebody didn't cook them right. I said, okay, dude, wow me, right?
Prove
yeah. Show me the stuff. He goes, for Thanksgiving one year, I'll bring my Brussels sprouts. And he brought them, and I was like, okay, you got it, dude. They had cheese and bacon on them. And,
he did it like that.
Yeah, he did them up like that. But it's like, the Brussels sprouts themselves were great. He's right. There was no bitterness in the center, like I was so used to. Mm-hmm. And now, whenever we go, Bethany and I go out to dinner in places, whenever they have like roasted Brussels sprouts as an appetizer, we get it almost every time because it's one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. It's like one of my favorites now. Something that I hated, I now love it.
My wife tries to convince me of that. I'm like, nope.
Oh, she likes them?
She loves Brussels sprouts. She loves asparagus.
Okay.
All that stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
No. I'll pass.
Are those the only two for you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Pretty much anything else.
You like most other vegetables?
Oh, I'll take.
What about beets? Beets are gross, dude.
You throw them in a salad, they're all right.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah.
You know, it's like not like I'm going to have that as like my main vegetable.
Right.
It's like if you mix it into a salad or
okay.
anything else, that's fine.
Yeah, but why would you? Like, I mean, salad's fine without it. Mm-hmm. You know, I eat lots of salads and you just leave the beets out of there. You know, but I'm like you. I there's very few things I don't like. Like I can probably count on my one hand the things that I literally won't eat because I don't like. But beets is on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts used to be on there, but
not anymore.
Yeah. It's beets, polenta.
Oh, okay.
That stuff's brutal. And coffee. I don't like coffee. I'm one of like 5 people in the world that doesn't like coffee.
See, I don't like drinking coffee.
Okay.
But like a coffee bean.
Oh,
you know how like there's like chocolate coffee beans, stuff like that?
You like those? Okay.
I like that. I love the smell of coffee.
Yes.
But I used to drink coffee a lot back in the day, but I'm like, it's not like me.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, like messing with your stomach and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. You know how like, you're drinking too much.
Oh, yeah.
And also I was working up in Bealton at the time.
Uh-huh.
It was what? 2005?
Okay.
And so going up there, like worked at this company that was really small. So there's only like 7 of us employees. Mm-hmm. And someone's doing a Starbucks run at least once or twice a day. Yeah. You know, we show up in the morning. Someone's like, "Hey, I got everybody Starbucks. Here you go."
Nice.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me have that." And then after a while, I'm like, "Oh nope, I can't handle this."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, let me just leave that alone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and then that's when, you find out that it's like, hey, caffeine, like too much caffeine is a diuretic.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're like, so if you need to clean yourself out, go for it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, and that's coffee has always been that for me. Like as far as it gives me bathroom problems right away. But like something like Bethany drinks, she loves it, dude. Like coffee is.
She drinks like water.
Yes, she drinks it so much.
Some
of it,
people
dude.
can do that,
and she doesn't mess her stomach up or nothing. She just.
She's the lucky one.
Yeah, she's like a connoisseur though. Like she gets like the fancy stuff. She's
okay.
This is none of this Folgers garbage. You know, it's like this is the real deal. You know. So she knows, and I'll try her stuff sometimes. She's like, "Oh, try this," you know. But it's the coffee flavor that I don't.
You just don't like.
But I'm with you. The smell's great.
Oh,
one of the best smells in the world. You go down the coffee bean aisle at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Oh, I get sitting there all day. As a kid,
I used to walk up to the beans.
Yeah.
Squeeze the pack just so that I can smell it. My mom is kind of like your wife with, she drinks coffee all day. Now, of course, she's 80. She just turned 80.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and so she drinks decaf.
Okay.
Okay. But at the same time, she, it's just like I love that smell.
Yeah.
I'll go to her house. She'll have some coffee brewed. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it smells so good. Loved it ever since I was a kid.
So she was pretty late in life when she had you then. So she must be like 35? She's 80 now.
Because there's 4 of us in
my
family.
Are you the baby?
Yes.
Oh, are?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, you're okay. I always thought Heather was younger than you.
No, everybody thinks that.
Okay.
And it's okay.
She probably likes that. It's probably a compliment to her.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. She's 2 years older than, or a little more than 2 years older than I am.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I want to say, hold on, wait, go back. She was born, 46? Born in 80.
Yeah.
That's, 35.
I was saying, if you're 45 and she's 80, then she was 35-ish when she had you. So, okay. But you were the last one, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So, plus I was born on her birthday, so I was the birthday gift.
There you go.
The painful 20-hour one, but...
And you can't quite call yourself a mistake, an accident, because you were only 2 years after Heather, so...
Exactly.
It wasn't like there was a 10-year gap between the first 3 kids and then the final
Actually, everybody in my family, all the siblings are separated by 2 years. Mm-hmm. And me, I'm about like 2.5. Because everybody's born on even years, and I'm the one born on the odd year.
Okay.
So...
You're the black sheep.
Yep, exactly. The youngest and the oddball.
There you go.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah. Speaking of oddball, dude, how long since you haven't had the mohawk, dude?
Oh, I forgot.
The mohawk
you remember
was
the mohawk.
Awesome.
Ooh. Yeah, no.
I mean, to be teaching martial arts when you have a mohawk like that was one of the coolest things ever.
Oh, it was a fun hairstyle.
Yeah.
But I got rid of that probably maybe. I was 32.
Okay.
So, I only had that hairstyle for maybe 1-2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just lucky enough to be there for that.
Yes. Yeah. Even though I had, some of the students that remember it, they're are you gonna bring him back? I'm like, no, like
Yeah.
I'm starting to bald up top. Okay, I was like, it's not gonna be the best mohawk. It's gonna be like more of like a picket fence.
That'd be awesome, though. That'd be unique.
Yes.
You go to punk shows like that. How many punk rockers are gonna have that kind of hairstyle?
That is true.
You'd be like, hey, try this. You know?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's awesome.
I still have the pictures and everything. You know.
I hope so.
Oh yeah.
You got to. You got to show your son someday. Look how cool Dad was back
like
then.
This is an awesome hairstyle.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't listen to your aunt because she'll tell me she's always. My sister used to give me shtick for it because like I would you would have to. There's a hairstyle you have to keep the sides clean.
Right.
Because if you got the mohawk up top, but then you start letting the sides grow out,
you look like an idiot.
Yeah, it looks horrible. So like, I'm visiting my hairstylist like at least like once, twice a month.
Okay.
You know, but then like when I would get into my car and I'd have to drive with my head tilted because my spikes were so tall that would hit the roof.
Yeah, you need a sunroof, dude, just for your mohawk.
You know, but unfortunately, I didn't have a sunroof. Didn't want to install one. So I was like, all right, this is getting a little too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive head tilted to the side and everything. So just ended up started shaving it.
Okay.
Growing out a little bit, but then
it's low maintenance.
Yeah,
that's why I like.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, twice a week I just shave it, and then that's it. I just use a straight razor, and when I shave my face, I shave my head, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's low maintenance. I wake up, I'm ready for work. I don't got to do the stuff with women. They got to I got to wash my hair. I got to do my hair.
I got a head like yours. Like you have like not everybody can pull off the bald look.
Right.
You got that. You got a head that it looks good bald.
Yeah.
I got blessed with one same thing. So it's like I got that rounded head. There's no flat spots.
Right.
Where people are like, yeah, you should grow your hair out high.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, I didn't know that it was going to look good either. I was a sophomore in high school when I actually lost a bet to shave my head. And then I shaved it over the summer, and then everybody was telling me how much better it looked. They're like, oh man, you really look good with a shaved head, And that wasn't like bicked like this. It was
just buzz.
It was just buzz, real short, maybe like a 1 or a 2 clip or whatever. And so then from then on, I think I grew my hair out like 3 times since then. And once was for my senior pictures because my mom begged me to grow my hair out for my senior pictures.
We wanted it to look good. We don't want you to look like some weird kid with a bald head.
Well, back then, I think my mom was worried that people would think I was a skinhead.
Yeah.
Because back then, there wasn't that many kids that had that hairstyle. Now it's more common, but back then she's like,
especially if it's completely bit down to the skin, right? Everybody would be like, no, you're a skinhead.
That's what I'm saying. A white guy with a shaved head back then could have been on that, into the white supremacy stuff. So she was worried someone was going to mistakenly think that about me and kill me.
She had your best interest out.
She did, but. So so I grew it out for her, did the thing, and literally on the way back from the photographer, I went to the barbershop and had him shave. So I was like, it's gone. Nice, we're done. Nice. All right, so let's finish out the music with top 5. Can you do a top 5 favorite bands of all time?
Oh,
or artists?
Okay, top 5. All right, so that's gonna be tough. Mm-hmm. That's like trying to pick, like for parents, pick their favorite kid.
Right.
Like I can do that. I don't have
You can do that. Yeah.
That's going to make it easier for the future.
And you can tell him that as he's growing up. You know what, son? You're my favorite kid I ever
You're my only one. Yeah.
We'll just rattle some off. It doesn't have to be 5. It can be more or less. Just rattle off some favorite bands of all time.
Okay. Favorite bands. All right. This is going to cover a lot. So.
All right.
1, Bad Religion.
Okay.
Dirty Heads.
Okay.
Go with Nas.
Nice. You got good taste, dude.
I'm going to go. Thank you. I'm definitely throwing out Bob Marley.
Okay. Wow, right. You got all kind of.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Guns N' Roses. It's harder than I thought.
Yeah, I couldn't do this. I ask every guest to do this, and I think every time I ask it, I'm like, I couldn't do this.
It's tough because I keep going on because then let's see, we got that. Johnny Cash definitely is up there. 9 Inch Nails is up there. Let's see. Even though it's the genre I don't really like, but Garth Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's one of the better ones when it comes to country, I think.
He is.
Yeah.
Love those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Another one more for the reggae rock would be Revolution.
That's when people talk about Dirty Heads, they always talk about Revolution as well. Those two seem to be connected. I don't know if they played together a lot or something, or if they're just kind of the same genre.
They're the same genre.
Okay.
Similar. I've seen both of them live at Avila.
Oh, okay.
But I will because I seen Dirty Heads with Sublime and Rome.
Oh, nice.
I wish I had the chance to see the original Sublime.
Have you heard it now with his son?
His son sounds just like him.
It's eerie, dude.
Yeah. And that's why Rome had wanted to step down.
Right.
Because he's kind of kept the popularity going.
Yeah.
But it's like, no. Here.
Yeah.
Let Bradley's son take over. This is the one who really should be going and headlining.
Probably what Brad would have wanted, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. A buddy of mine, he actually saw Sublime
with Brad.
With Bradley and Say Ferris.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Down in the Long Beach area.
Okay.
When he was like 18, 19 years old. He went down there and he was just like, I remember him telling me about it. And he's like, it was one of the craziest shows
I bet
he's ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy Bradley Knowles was like amazingly talented, even as a songwriter, as a singer, and all that. Just like, that's why even though it's exciting that his son is because when you hear them play the old songs with Bradley singing and his son is doing it, it's like, okay, this sounds like that. But what if they start writing again? Like, what's that going to sound like? Because his son's not going to be able to write, I don't think, the same way.
No.
It's not like we're going to get another 40 Ounces to Freedom album or something.
Ooh. Yeah, it's nothing going to be like that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It'll be nice to see like where he takes the band.
Right.
And hopefully, it's like, hey, just stay true to the roots.
Yeah.
Keep the sound going, and then put your own flavor into it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the only other band I'll throw on there is Nirvana.
Okay.
Right now. I can keep making the list.
Yeah.
To me, music is such a big part of everybody's life.
Yeah.
And music has always been around since, us humans have been around.
Sure. For sure.
And it's something that it speaks to everybody. So it's like when you turn someone onto a new band or new song or anything or something they haven't heard, it's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll come across somebody who actually just doesn't like music.
I've met only a couple people like that. And I don't understand.
No, there's something mentally wrong there. They got some kind of problem they need therapy for. I think
I agree with that because one of my sister's friends, she knows someone, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't like music." Yeah, I'm like, "How?"
Yeah, you just haven't heard the right kind or something. Because there's got to be because there's always a kind of music that resonates more with someone else. Like I would have believed them if they were like, "Oh, I hate heavy metal." Okay, I get it. It's too loud. It's too screamy. You don't like it. It's too heavy. Or whatever, but to say you don't like any kind of music, it's like
there has to be something out there.
There's got to be. Yeah. There's got to be. Tell me you've never been in a store, you've never been watching a movie, and you heard a song, and you're like, oh, that song really gave me. I mean, especially in a movie, right? How many of these like sad movies do you see that if you were to remove the music track, and you're like, you don't even care anymore?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that guy died, the dog got run over, and all this stuff, and they're crying. I don't even care. If the music's gone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even hit you. But when that music's playing in the background, it's like, oh my gosh, like you're just like losing it, and it's because of the song more than the scene.
It's nuts. It strikes a chord. You know? I don't know if you ever years ago, I was me and my wife, we were down Studio City, and we were going through like this little strip mall, and it was a giant drum circle started, and I'm talking like 100, 200 people.
Really?
Anybody could join in.
Crazy.
And like just like watching everybody come up and like you just random strangers just, like there's all these different drums, bongos, little cymbals, and there's no music, no sheet music or anything.
But they were all playing harmoniously.
Just going with it. And
so cool.
Walking into that, it felt something like tribal.
Yeah.
And it speaks to like your soul. And I'm sitting there like, and you just start seeing everybody stop.
Right.
And then you start getting into the music, and my wife was like, well, let's keep going. I'm like, no, just wait. And then she starts getting into it. And it's like, wait, okay, yes. And it was, like, that is awesome.
Yeah, it connects people. Music connects people, right? Like you can have people that can be on polar opposite ends of the political spectrum, polar opposites of all these, serious belief systems, but they like the same band. Dude, you unite with them over
exactly.
that. You know, you're like, oh man, we can talk about this song and that album, this kind of stuff. It's like it brings you together. You can be like, I think you're an idiot when it comes to politics, and I think all this kind of stuff. But man, this band, we agree on this, you know, and that's our connection. So,
and since there's so many genres, like it doesn't matter what you like. No matter if you like rock, country, you want some Tibetan throat singing.
There you go, dude.
You know, Swedish death metal.
Yes, yes,
you know,
yes.
Or some pop music.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, as long as it speaks to you, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what music's supposed to do.
And dude, it's funny you say pop music because that's the one genre I've never disliked it. But most of the new music I think sucks.
Yes.
But like lately, like there's something about some of the newer, like, I guess pop music is the only, I guess that's what you would call it. But like things like The Weeknd.
Oh, okay.
Or like even some of this can sound funny. Some of the new Jonas Brothers stuff. Or,
my wife is actually, she likes the Jonas Brothers.
It's great. I hate the old Jonas Brothers. It's terrible. Like I listen to the old albums. I'm like, this is the worst stuff ever. But like their newer last couple albums, like the last 2 albums are great. Mm-hmm. Or like Harry Styles, or you know, I'm like, dude, this is really
like the
good.
Teddy Swims, or
yes.
One my wife turned me on was Alex Warren.
Yeah, okay, never heard of him.
He does a song called Ordinary.
Okay,
all right,
I'll have to check it out.
That one's good, and also like the story behind that song. Mm-hmm. Because if I remember correctly, it was him and his wife met in college, or she was going to college, and he was trying to do this YouTube music thing. And then she literally dropped out of college from getting her degree and going on with her career because she believed in him so much.
Yeah.
And was like, no. Like, they fell in love, and he was like, this is you're taking me out of the ordinary. You know? And the song's all about it. Like, my wife played it to me, and it's like, oh, wow.
That's cool.
It was good. And, like, it is more that, not so, like, a high, like, real poppy, but it's more easy.
Okay.
Guitar, music, everything like that. But that one's a good one.
And it's Alex Warren?
Warren.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
cool, man.
You know, like that newer, I can agree with you with the newer poppier or like the new easy listening is better.
Yeah.
You know,
not some of it.
Yes.
Some of it still sucks.
But. Oh, yeah. The newer rock.
Yeah.
I don't really like, you know.
Newer rap is terrible, dude.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
So
I
bad.
hate that because it's like, I loved, with rap, it's like you have to have good lyrics. You have to have a good flow.
Right.
When you rhyme the same word with the same word.
Or say at the end of the verse and to make it rhyme. No, it's not. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. And what makes me so mad is that a lot of these guys from the old days are still alive. Mm-hmm. Dre, Snoop, you got people like Ice Cube is still alive. Mm-hmm. Why aren't they coming out and saying, dude, you guys suck.
Yeah.
You're destroying what we crafted. Like
we laid the blueprint. All you can do is just keep it going.
It's terrible now. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. And I deliver pizzas a couple nights a week. So
you still deliver pizzas?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
Over at Ricky's now.
Oh, at Ricky's.
So
okay.
yeah, where was I last time?
Round Table.
Oh,
remember we worked at Round
that's
Table
right.
Together?
That's how I knew you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Until just now, I kept thinking I met you first through CKD, but I didn't.
No. Before, because
you were a manager.
Yeah, I was a morning manager at Round Table back in the day.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Trip out. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that, dude.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
And who was the Saeed?
Saeed and
was the owner. Yeah. No,
I butted with that heads with that guy so much,
dude. I just saw him a couple years ago. He when they opened up the sushi place in Albertsons and Orchid. He owns that.
What?
I don't know if it's still there or not, but when they first opened, I seen him in there because he was there and they were prepping stuff, and I was like, "Hey, Saeed," he goes, "Hey," and he's looking at me like, "Who the heck are you?"
Yeah.
I go, "You probably don't remember me." I said, "I used to be a delivery driver over at Round Table." When he goes, "Oh yeah," and I go, "Yeah, this was after Round Table had closed."
Okay.
And I was kind of talking to him a little bit. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing this?" And I go, "Yeah, I own the sushi place, and I own the one down here." And he talked about how this is a new thing for him. He's got all the franchise.
They closed down, I think, like 3 Round Tables.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a trip. That was a fun place to work, dude.
It was good.
That was interesting.
Luxury, working at a food business like that.
Yeah.
You make your own food.
Yeah.
I make your own pizzas.
Yeah.
Because
and the pizza there was bomb too. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I worked there after I left. Because I worked at Wendy's, and then I had a stint for like a month at Del Taco.
Oh, a whole month, huh?
Yeah.
As a manager or
no?
Okay.
They wanted me to try to be manager.
Just a burrito slanger, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was working the grill, and I was like,
okay.
And it was like I did 3 years at Wendy's.
Okay.
And I started at like a maintenance position.
Yeah.
And then grill, and then I worked my way up to assistant manager.
Okay.
But then like afterwards, I was like, you know what? Like fast food's it's okay, it pays the bills, but like I want more.
Were you doing? So you weren't doing CKD at the same time?
No, I was.
Oh, you were.
I've actually been teaching ever since I was 17.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and you were how old in Roundtable? Probably in your early 20s, maybe.
That was what?
When was that?
That was like 2002, 2003.
Okay, that makes sense.
So like right in my early 20s.
Okay. Wow,
you know,
so crazy, dude. And what was the? Remember Randy? Was the manager there? Maybe he replaced you.
Oh no.
You remember Randy?
No, I know Randy. Yeah,
okay.
No. Actually, me and him used to work at Wendy's together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I ran into when I started working at Roundtable.
Yeah.
Because was it Beverly and her boyfriend at the time?
Josh.
Yeah.
That guy was a trip.
Oh, he was crazy dude. But we he I've known Josh for a while.
Yeah.
But he hooked me up with that job, and then I ran into Randy, and he was like, "Yeah, he's looking for a job," and I was like, "Dude, come over here. I'll hook you up."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he's the one that got you the job there.
So no, I got.
Oh, you got him the job there.
Randy
okay.
the job.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, Beverly and Josh is the one that got me a job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I walked into that interview like I owned it.
Yeah.
So, no, because you know how like at the end of the interviews, people are like, "Well, do you have any questions for me?"
Yeah.
And it was like, I was 21, and like it was a Vai.
Oh,
and
okay.
I literally looked at him. I was like, "Yeah, when do I start?"
Nice. Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "I know you need this position. I got this covered.
That's right.
This is easy. When do I start?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "We'll get back to you." And then, of course, the next day, then it's like, "Hey, you're going to start on Friday.
Yeah.
Come in, do the paperwork."
He doesn't want to give you the satisfaction.
No, he didn't want to.
Yeah, that's so funny. All right, so 2 last questions in music. The first one is Nirvana, Nevermind, or In Utero. Which one do you put first?
Nevermind.
Okay, me too. It's close. It's very close for me.
In Utero is
but Nevermind
amazing,
is there.
but
Yeah.
Nevermind.
Okay, yeah.
That right there.
Yeah, that one classic album. That's on my top albums of all time too. All right, last one is like any bands or artists that you literally cannot stand. Like they come on, you're like, turn that crap off immediately. It's terrible.
How long a list do you want?
That'd be funny if I had a big long list of that. This one and this one and this one and this one.
All right. Well, definitely Cardi B. That
she's terrible.
Definitely.
Content aside, she's a terrible rapper. Terrible.
Pretty much any of the newer rappers, like
Okay.
I don't even bother learning their names.
Yeah.
But when you can't rhyme properly, I'm cutting you off.
You're out. That's it.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think like any. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard. Cardi B's good. We'll just go with Cardi B.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's the worst.
Because like most of the music, like I have no problem. Don't really have too many artists that I seriously hate.
Okay.
It's just if you have annoying sound or you don't have like with the new hip hop and rap, it's like if you don't have the lyrics, you don't have that that flow.
Yeah.
No.
Well, what bugs me too about a lot of the new rap is there's no chorus. It's always just like this boring beat over a guy going
and also the beats aren't that good.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah,
there's no and then the song's over.
Repeat.
Yeah. A good rap song to me is a guy that's rapping well over a good beat, and then you got like maybe a female vocalist in the chorus that's kind of keeping a melody going, and then he raps some more, and that's a good song.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, no.
This monotonous same thing over and over again until it gets to the end. You're like, what the heck is this, dude? This is terrible.
Oh, it is. It is. Years ago, because like I love underground, like artists you don't hear about.
Yeah.
Long time ago, my buddy Dorn was living in Hollywood, and we went down there, and we went to this guy's release party.
Oh, no way.
Never even heard of who this guy is.
Okay.
The guy's name was Mine Plus Us.
Oh, never heard
So it was MINE plus US.
Okay.
And he was like more of that, had like a little bit of hip hop.
Okay.
More of that just like freestyle flow. And he like, the moment you walked in the door, here's a brand new album for you.
Oh, just because he wanted you to spread it.
He gave everybody copies of the album.
Okay.
But he was also performing
Oh, wow.
And so he was performing the songs on his album, but then he would also perform, like he performed a song that was not on the album, which I really wish, because I don't know if he released any other albums after this, but it was him freestyle rapping and had this lady with this beautiful voice doing the hook.
And remember the name of the song?
No, I like this. Like I don't even know if it was on an album or anything because the album he gave us, it wasn't on.
Okay.
Because I thought, I was like, oh yeah, it's on here.
Wait,
I've listened to every single one of these albums or the songs, and it's not on.
And as far as you know, maybe it was never even recorded.
Yeah.
That live version you heard was the only time.
Yep.
See, wouldn't that suck? See, I want to find out. I want to try to find it.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried to find it in a while, but
okay.
Now especially with internet, you can find a lot more stuff now.
Right.
Everybody's putting everything on there.
Yeah, it's all digital and everything. So you can probably find a way to contact that guy.
Possibly. Like I still
was at your show, man, and you did this song. I really want this song. Where is it?
Even if it's just a 25 demo. Years ago. Yeah, but it was awesome because it set the vibe. Everybody in the bar is sitting there drinking, getting drunk. But then, like when this girl's voice came on, you could hear the bar just quiet down.
Oh, really?
And it was beautiful.
Showstopper.
Yeah, it had that the angelic voice.
So cool.
All
right, man. Let's get political, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So which way do you lean? Generally.
Me more like. You say probably a little bit towards right, but I don't really like politics too much.
Okay.
I'm more like common sense.
Okay.
So it's like, because you can look right, you can look left. People, on the left, they want their certain way, right wants their certain way, but it's like, well, what's best for the situation? What's best for, like, especially government politics, what's best for all of us,
the whole country,
as commoners,
right?
Right. And so when I see like the political parties, I see it more as two puppet masters playing with everybody that is watching.
Okay.
So I look at it as like, I don't care if you're right or left. I'm going to look at what you're doing with your actions, your character, and if you're actually telling the truth.
Okay.
Pretty much politicians don't do that.
Right. But I was going to say, do you see that kind of pretty even? Both sides doing most of that? Especially
nowadays.
Okay.
I see both sides. They'll say one thing, but then completely do the opposite.
Okay.
Or it will flop.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, well, yeah, no, we're pro-life. But then something goes on. No, we're not pro-life.
Yeah.
We want guns banned. Oh, but in case this situation, then we want guns.
Yeah. Well, like you're talking about, like the good example of that would be in the last election with Kamala Harris and the fracking. Right. That's what she was criticized for, because she's on video saying she's for fracking, and then she's on video not much longer than that saying, I'm against fracking. It's like, well, you can't be both. You're either for it or you're against it, right?
Exactly.
And when people that flop to appeal to whatever base they're talking to at that time, I mean, come on. The American public sees right through that.
Well, yeah, especially with all the media nowadays.
Right.
It's like, go back 30 years ago, you can get away with that.
Sure.
You go into more of a conservative group, you talk more conservative.
Yeah.
You go to more of a liberal group, you can talk more liberal. It's like now everybody's videoing everything, so they can catch you in those lies.
Right.
Instead of just like, hey, why don't we look at what is good common sense?
Right.
What is the best result? What's going to be better for everybody, and I'm not saying you can't change your opinion, because I've changed my opinion lots of times on things. Yeah, you have to,
but don't lie about your opinion in order to appeal to whoever you're talking to.
True.
Don't do that. Just say what if you're pro-life, say you're pro-life. If people don't vote for you because they're pro-choice, okay, whatever, right? But be honest. If you're pro-choice, say you're pro-choice. And then the whole pro-life lobby is gonna be like, no, we're not voting for that person. Fine, but at least you're honest. Stop trying to play all the fields, I hate that.
Yeah, and that's something that politics should focus on the most.
Right.
Is being honest.
Yes.
Especially
these days when nobody trusts politicians as it is. So
there's a reason why. It's because they're so dishonest for the past that how can we believe them now?
Right. So when you look at like the current administration with Trump and everything going on in the second term of Trump, do you see a lot of that? Do you see him saying he was going to do something and not doing it, or saying he wasn't going to do something that he is doing, or?
Well, a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because he was saying like, oh, we're not going to start a war with anybody in the Middle East. But no, he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, he would say that they started the war with us.
Exactly, but that's thin lines, you know?
It is.
Or it's like, hey, I'm going to bring down the price of groceries and gas and all that, and then look at what's happening now.
Right.
You know, everything keeps going up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, well, you know, I mean, one thing, like Trump is more of a businessman.
Yeah.
So he wants to get stuff done. And like his first term, he did get some stuff done. You know, there was the peace treaty in the Middle East. But then, you know, other administrations, but then also everybody flips flops. And then now his next term, he's not upholding what he said he was.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, like, when politicians do that, I don't even want to listen to them.
Okay.
You know, I'm just like, you know what? You're pretty much speaking BS, and that's all you are.
Right.
And especially if you're not backing up what you're going to say. You know, because I think if anybody who's in charge of a country or just in charge of a community, if you're going to say something, live up to it.
Right.
If not, then you don't have good character.
Yeah, and it's different if you say you're going to do something, you try to do that thing, and you fail.
Yeah.
That's different.
Oh, big time.
Than like saying you're going to even try and then you don't even try. Because, I'm not going to go there. I just said that to get elected.
Yeah. At least like if you fail at something, at least you try.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
And I think people will be more forgiving for things like that, right?
Oh, definitely.
But I think with Trump, a lot of the things that he did say he was going to do that he is doing is ticking people off too. Like, because take the deportation thing with ICE right now. I mean, he went at that full force gangbusters and be like, whoa. Like, even the people that voted for that, they're like, oh yeah, we definitely don't want illegal aliens like living here anymore, of course. But then, of course, they're seeing the media and the news and how many are getting deported and how much is happening so fastly, so quickly, and everybody's like, whoa, dude, like, slow down. You know? And then other people are like, yeah, let's get it done. If you're going to get it done, you know? So it's interesting. Or the first term was the wall, right? Oh, I'm going to build the wall. And then he did. He started building the wall anyway.
And then it stopped.
Yes, exactly. And he did say when he was coming the second term, I believe he said he was going to finish it. I don't think there's been any work done on that since in the second term, but I don't know.
But
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough stuff.
It is tough. I mean, that's why I never wanted to go into politics.
Yeah.
You know, that's a line of work.
Yeah.
You know, it's much easier and safer to punch people in the face than get into politics. You know, at least I train one thing I love about martial arts, and since I've been training martial arts for like 31 years, it's like I get to train with people all walks of life.
Okay.
All right, people that are like I've trained FBI agents, police officers. I've trained ex-cons. I've trained people that were ex-gang members, stuff like that. You know, and like of course a lot of like kids, teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like we can get into a fight with each other. We're sparring each other. We're trying to knock each other out sometimes, and then afterwards we give each other a hug, and we're like best friends.
Right.
You know,
because it's a sport.
It's a sport, but also there's like respect. With politicians, the only thing they respect is themselves and money.
Yeah.
So as long as they're getting money and getting rich off of it, they don't care who they screw over, who they have to walk over to get what they want done.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's why when you look at the primaries and stuff and you see two people going at each other because they obviously want to be the nominee, right? Trump and Vance or Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when they were both running the first time. And it's like, and then when one steps down and one gets elected, now that's who they pick as their VP? Everybody's like, wait a minute, you're picking Kamala Harris as your VP, the woman that called you a racist on national TV multiple times? And she wants to be your VP? Because everybody's like, wait a minute, why do you want to be his VP if you think he's
if he's not fit for the position?
Yeah, or not even that, but the things you said about him were more than just like, oh, he's not fit to be president. You're like, he's a racist, he's this, he's a... They even talked about back when he was sniffing little girls, right? Remember that whole thing? He's a pedophile, he's this, he's all this kind of thing. You cannot say those things about somebody and then be like, hey, can I work for you now?
Yeah. Oh no, he's my best friend.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then that's what happened there. Oh, we did it, Joe. We made, and it's like this whole thing where it's like, oh, now we're best friends again, which is not true. It's not true. Even for years they talk about how like Obama couldn't stand Joe Biden the whole time. Like, even when he was the VP or whatever, it's like, I can't stand that guy. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody just knew that. But on camera, and when they're with each other, they weren't I hate this guy.
Yeah,
no, because
one face for the public, one face for private.
Exactly. But I think that's what turns people off. We want reality, and I think that's how Trump won the first time. Because even though people are like, man, this guy's crass, he's got a past, he's got all this stuff going on, but hey, what you see is what you get, right? That's not what we're used to from a politician.
He doesn't sugarcoat, even if he's going to ruffle your feathers or make people mad.
Yes.
He will be his blunt, honest self.
Right.
Which, like seeing him do his, when he talks to other country leaders.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to have a little decorum,
right.
A little more try to be nicer.
Yes,
that would go a long ways. Mm-hmm. But I understand that you're trying to make sure you're that top dog,
right? Right.
But also, I think a person in their 80s shouldn't be in charge of the country.
I agree. See, I think we're all in agreement on that. I don't care if you're right, left, middle, whatever. We all would like to have because what's the age? 35.
Yes.
As long as you're 35 or older, you can be president. Why are our presidents always in their 80s? Why is this? I don't understand. Yeah. It's like if you have a 60-year-old president, it's like, oh, this is a young president.
Well, it's kind of like, it's like, would you really put your 80-year-old grandfather in charge of everything for the family?
No.
My son is actually lucky because his great grandfather is still alive. He's turning 101 this year.
So this is your grandpa?
No, my wife's grandpa.
Your wife's grandpa?
My wife's grandpa.
Okay.
All right, he's turning 101 this year. Wow. Former Navy veteran.
Wow.
He was almost in the battle in Japan for World War II, but he was on his battleship over there, and then they were maybe a day out, and then that was right when they dropped the bomb. Nope, you don't need to come back. You don't need to come over. But he served in the Navy for a while. And
okay.
Guy is sharp, amazing.
Still
pretty sharp.
At 102.
Almost 101.
Almost 101.
Okay. Yeah, he would be 101 in June.
Okay.
But the thing is we're not going to put him in charge of running all the finances and decisions for the family.
Right.
That would be stupid.
You probably wouldn't even put him in charge of ordering dinner.
No. That's like, hey, guess what? Hey, Grandpa Bill, we're going to pick you up. We're going to take you to this restaurant.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be good. He's along for the ride.
We'll order for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crazy thing is he still walks around.
Okay.
He fell 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. All right. Ended up banging up his shoulder. Did not break a single bone in his body. Oh, wow. Remarkable guy.
That awesome is dude. Crazy. At that age, your bones are so brittle.
There's something I think scientists need to
study him
because there's something about his physiology.
Yeah.
That. But back to the whole age in politics.
Yeah.
You don't need someone that old because unfortunately, even though as we get older, we still feel young.
Yeah.
Our minds don't age as much as our body does. But once you get over that 60, 70-year mark, there's decline.
Right.
So why are you allowing someone who's in their 80s to run the whole country?
Yeah.
It's no, we need someone a little more youthful, someone who has better interest
Yeah.
for the actual people, and they're actually going to do what they say.
Right. I think we're going to see it. I think after this Trump term, there's going to be a younger, because I think the last 3 terms have been, because Trump won because he wasn't Hillary.
True.
Biden won because he wasn't Trump, right? After the first Trump president, it was okay, we got to get rid of this guy's crazy. Yeah, we'll take this old senile guy who doesn't even know his name anymore, as long as he's not Trump. I even joked and said if a bag of dog crap ran against Trump, he would have won.
Yeah.
Because it was the whole not Trump. It didn't matter who was in there. Not Trump.
No one wanted him for a second term.
And then when Trump came back to run again this last election, and they literally picked the worst politician in the history of the world to put her in there to run against Trump. And Trump won because he wasn't Kamala Harris. Basically, everybody, even people on the left, are no, she's terrible. I cannot. She's an idiot, right? I heard people on the left saying that, and people that hated Trump, they hated Kamala more. They're no, I can't. There's no way. So now, once that's all over, I think we're gonna get younger people like Ron DeSantis in Florida, or who already tried to be in the primary last time, or even J.D. Vance, guys like that in their in their 40s, maybe early 50s, those kind of guys.
Which would do better because it brings in more youthfulness.
Right.
It brings in different perspective.
Right.
But we'll see. I think
we'll see.
What should actually happen is go back how they used to have it back in the early days, where you're what was it? It was in the beginning stages when they actually started the public vote. All right, your president was the one who got the most votes. Your vice president was the second person.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't matter if you were left or right.
Oh, is that what they used to do?
Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I forget when it was actually implemented, but it was the person you were running against. Whoever won became president. Whoever lost became vice president.
Dude, could you imagine I can see why they stopped doing that, though, because there was probably so much turmoil. And could you imagine, like, just take this last election.
Oh.
If Donald Trump got in as the president and Kamala Harris was his VP, could you imagine, dude?
Oh, the bickering and fighting that would happen the whole
they would have, one of them would have killed the other. But at some point, it would have happened.
Yeah, I think they did back in the day because it forced people to work together.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, guess what? Because one person might have one side in his perspective, where it's like, no, I want it this way, but doesn't consider how it's going to affect this group.
Right.
Or these people over here. And this guy is like, hey, I'm looking out for that little guy, but you're looking after the big companies. So how can we reach that middle ground?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, which makes sense. And I think if the two sides weren't so polarized at this point, it would work.
Oh, definitely.
Like, even if you went back just like the 80s, when it wasn't, where the Republican side and the Democrat side weren't so different. Like, it used to be like they were similar on a lot of things, and they had a couple fringe things where they were different. Oh, okay, I'm going to go this side. Now it's like they're night and day almost. Like, it's almost like on purpose, too.
Yes.
Well, if something a Democrat believes, I'm automatically not going to believe that, and vice versa. It's like, I'm not going to think about that because, and there's all these things, right? People on the conservative side tend to be more, for the most part, generally pro-life, pro-gun, all this stuff, and people on the left are generally pro-choice, anti-gun, and the list goes on. That's just two examples. But they're polar opposites on almost every single topic.
And even if you brought up something that the left would agree on, the right was like, no, we're going to be disagreeing.
Right.
And you bring them to the right first. Oh, no, the left.
That's what I'm saying. They're contrary on just for the sake of being contrary.
Yes.
You see that when they do the government shutdowns, when there's like a thing and they're like, oh, well, we need to pass this bill, and until you say yes, we're not going to open the government back up again. It's like this playground games they're doing. It's like, well, if you don't give me what I want, then we're going to shut the government.
It's like, are you guys just a bunch of moody little junior hires?
Yes.
Playing with all of our money.
They are.
Our choices in life.
Yes.
Our country.
Right.
When it's like, you guys should be doing less and giving it all the choices back to us.
Yeah.
That's not what I think it should be.
Sure.
Give the power back to the people instead of...
By state, you mean?
Well, by state, by state and like even individual, because like government likes to, they want to control as much as possible.
Right.
But the thing is like the more the government controls, the less public controls. And I think with less public control, with more government control, then it leads more towards like the socialists. Like getting more towards socialism.
Right.
Oh, government will take care of you.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, like Cuba or Venezuela, stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like, if you look at history, did it really work out?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people forget to go back and look at history and learn from it, because it's like, the old saying, it's like, if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, right? And I've had a lot of socialists on here, and they don't see it that way. Right? They think, to them, it's like, yeah, but we've never tried it here. We've never tried it here. And they don't look in history and say, well, but they tried it here and here and here and here. And I don't think there's any examples. Maybe they'll cite one that's a little better than the others, but any examples of socialism actually working in the long run. I mean, in a sense, it sounds good. Oh, you mean I don't have to? I just get my everything for free, and it's every. Oh, that sounds great. It's like, yeah, but where's it coming from, right?
Yeah,
it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, someone still has to pay for it.
Right, exactly. So would you say you're more on you like the capitalist kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
More free market.
Yeah.
Because I think when you do too much handout and trying to kind of like level the playing ground, because for the whole history of human civilization, you're always going to have poor people, you're always going to have rich people, you're going to have people in the middle. Now everyone wants equality. It's like, yeah, it would be awesome, but if you brought everybody down where, guess what, everybody in the world makes the exact same amount of money, has the exact same house, exact same items, exact same food, there's no difference.
Right.
one, people will go bored, people will lose creativity, and if you just keep giving handouts, does that really help the person out, or does that encourage the person to keep putting their hand out for, well, what else are you going to give me?
Right.
Instead of like, hey, guess what? We're going to allow, there's going to be equal chances for everybody. Now, if you want it, you got to work for it.
Right.
You know, it's something like I tell my students all the time, you know, even on one of my walls, you know, it's where we have our all of our belts in our system. And above it, it says, don't wish for it, work for it. Because if you can wish all you want, you can dream about all you want.
Right.
But if you don't actually get up and do something, nothing happens.
Yeah.
You know?
My old boss used to say, you know, you probably heard this saying, he'd say, wish in one hand and crap in the other.
Yep.
And
see which one fills up first. Yeah. I love that one. You know, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So instead of like just supplying everybody with everything you think they need, you know, why don't you just allow it where, hey, if this person wants to pursue this career, this person wants to pursue this.
Right.
Allow that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, now if they make it because they worked hard for it and they earned it, awesome. Yeah. They're also going to appreciate it more.
Sure.
You know, if someone just keeps giving you things, you don't really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But if you work for it and you know, even if it takes you, you know, 3 years to start a career, 5 years, 10 years, and you make that dream happen, it works. It feels better. You know, like starting my dojo. The only reason why I've always wanted to start my own dojo, but I was teaching for Soka for many years. Then I was employed by another dojo in town that they're no longer in business.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I only worked for them for a little bit, and then I was like, well, you know, I'm doing this full time. They were paying me good. This is actually the first time I got paid to teach martial arts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, I was like, wait, I can actually make money off this? Sweet! You know? And but then they wanted to go a different route. I wanted to go a different route. So I went back to Soka's, but then his rent increased, and he was like, hey, we got to close down. You know, and there's like, you know, 10, 12 students that still wanted to continue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I have no funding. I have no money to get this starting. You know what? Hey, guess what, guys? We're going to meet in Waller Park. So went out to Waller Park, and it was we started in like September, 2004, I want to say.
You were having your classes at Waller Park?
At Waller Park.
Just out by the trees and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. It was over by the pony rides.
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, just meet me here once a week.
Okay.
Don't even wear your gis. Don't wear anything. Just wear something you're going to stay warm in.
Right.
And we trained for about an hour and a half.
And were these younger kids? Or?
It was like ranges from like 7 to about like, I had one adult who was like in his mid-20s.
Okay.
So it was like that range from 7 to like mid-20s.
And did you say these were students from where you were working, the place that closed down?
No, this was students from Soka's.
From Soka's.
Yeah, because the place I taught, I left that, went back to Soka's because he didn't have any instructors anymore.
Okay.
You know, and so I went back, I'm like, hey, this is my roots.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you keep this afloat.
Okay.
And then when the rent increased, and it's like, financially, we can't keep this going.
Oh, he didn't want to retire at that point.
He didn't want to, but he needed to. And this is back, he was at Spencer's Market before they did all that construction. You remember the old Evergreen video?
Yeah.
Where, like, it was here and
before it was
hallway.
over on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah.
Evergreen, there used to be a gym that turned into a Bell's Bondman.
Yep.
Soka's Dojo was right there across the hallway.
Really?
Yes. Way before that, it actually used to be a restaurant or something.
Okay.
But that was where...
I'm trying to think it was all over there. I used to walk by there. I went to Lakeview.
Oh, okay.
And I would walk through there on my way to Lakeview every day. So the Far Western liquor store was right there.
Yeah, it was liquor store was there. Yeah. Ricky's Pizza was over there.
Oh yeah, that's where they started. Yeah, which was that was a fish market. Way back in the day.
Oh, really?
It was a fish market, then it was Ricky's, and now it's a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Yeah, but I ended up taking the students that still wanted to train, going to the park. And we did that for about 3 months. But of course, you know, fall, it gets darker sooner. Yeah. Getting a little colder. The older teenagers and adult didn't mind, but the younger kids, they're like, yeah. You know, the park's going to close earlier. But
get in their face, man up, you little worm.
It's all right, just keep moving. We warm up. Don't stand still, just keep moving.
Yeah.
You know? But one of my students, their family, my student's grandmother was a member at the Filipino Community Center.
Oh, okay.
And so got in connection with the community center, and that was my first spot that I actually had a physical location.
So they would let you use their facility?
Yeah, 2 days a week.
Oh, nice, dude.
And then my sister got out of college at that time.
Okay.
Came back and actually helped me turn it into a business.
So did she train when you guys were kids? Were you both training?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been training in K Trudeau since '93.
Oh, wow.
We were we're the original members of SOCA's first class.
Oh,
from Santa Maria.
crazy. Okay.
So I know, like, you had Jeff Martinez on.
Yeah.
You know, he started training about a year after I started training.
Okay.
You know, we got our black belts on the same day.
Okay.
But he started training a year afterwards.
Yeah, on the same day, so you can't say who's better. You'd have to have a duel to see who's better.
He's amazing out there. He is that guy's a grappling master.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing at what he does. It's cool.
Okay.
You know, but like my sister, she trained with us the whole time. You know, she got her black belt 6 months after I got my black belt.
Oh, wow.
But then, like, when she got out of college, she helped me turn what I had started into an actual legit business.
And this was separate from SOCA. Yeah. Other than the fact that it was everything he had taught you.
Yeah, it's the same system. Style, but...
Right, but it was your own business in a sense.
Okay. Yeah, he stopped.
Okay.
Because he was getting up there years, but then also, you know, he was like, wait, no, like, you guys got this. Just keep teaching K2. Keep going. Okay. See what you can do with it.
Okay.
You know, and then we grew out of that spot, got hooked up with another spot. It's called the Unified Center for Martial Art. It's actually the same location we're at right now.
Oh, okay.
But on the opposite corner of the building. Okay. The guy used to rent space, had like 5 different styles. Yeah. Being taught out of there.
I think that's where you were when we started with you. Because the place you're in now, it was just down. Yes. You moved down the street, not even the street. What do you call that?
The building.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it's where the old beauty college used to be.
Yeah. You were in the smaller one when we started.
Yes.
And I remember when you moved over, like, wow, this is nice because it's like twice the size, if not more.
We have like over a 3,000 square foot map.
Yeah,
we've been blessed.
That's awesome.
You know, but it's like, it took from the park all the way until we took over on our own. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was probably at least 4 years. 4 years of putting work in. And even way before that, I even tried to start a dojo up in Buellton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I rented space from this lady in downtown Buellton. Okay. She had a dance studio, and I would teach there 2 days out of the week. Okay. But at that time, I was like 21 years old. I didn't know anything about business. Okay. How to run, how to manage. Yeah. And just wasn't ready for it.
Was that people from Buellton that would come take your class? It wasn't like people were driving from...
No.
Okay.
No. Crazy is actually I had Steven Seagal.
Oh, yeah?
Not that Steven Seagal.
Oh, different one. Not the cool one.
Not the movie martial art ponytail dude.
Gotcha.
You know? Mm-hmm. No, it's actually a gentleman. If you're driving to Buellton, like over where Firestones is, there's a big 2-story building before it. And it's Seagal Incorporated. Oh. And they do like saddles, cowboy hats. Oh, okay. Stuff like that. Yeah, no, this guy, he's like 5'2", balding guy, yeah. And he introduced me. He's like, "Hi, I'm Steven Seagal," and he says it that tough, like, you know, but he does it as a joke, and I'm like, sure. And then he pulls out his license. No, my name is Steven Seagal.
I'm like, nice to meet you. I'm Jean-Claude.
Yeah. Well, at first when he first introduced, I was like, yeah, sure, your name's that. Yeah. And he had to pull out his license and show me, and I was but he took lessons from me. He even had some of his workers, but I didn't know how to run a business, how to properly promote. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't ready for that. Then it's like, no, that closed down. But when we got in conjunction with the Filipino Center and then the Unified Center for Martial Art, and especially with my sister, you know, she has the business head. You know, she's a great martial artist, but she has more business smarts than I do. Right. But the point I'm getting at is like we worked at it, we earned it. Yeah. You know, we had to put the work into it.
Which is really what America is all about.
Yes.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Right. You know, so if you allow people to have more of that opportunity where it's like, no, you're going to get these chances. Just work at it. You know, a lot of times, especially nowadays, is they want it, like, people want things that are going to happen right now. Yeah. If I start working today, tomorrow I want all the results. Right. And you're like, well, if you want it that fast, it's not going to be that good. Right. It's like trying to cook.
Do you think that as a country right now we are in a place where where people have equal opportunity?
I actually think it is better on equal opportunity across the board now than what it was, 20 or 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. I just think people try to point out everybody's differences too much. It's like, oh, well, you got in there because of this. It's like, no, if they got in, they got in. Just be happy for them.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? It becomes a jealousy issue where I talk to a lot of younger people that they hate the rich. Right? It's like, oh, I got these rich people in this, especially if they're like what they call trust fund babies, right? Someone whose parents
inherited all their money.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, if you really boil it down, you're just jealous because you wish you were them. Yeah. You wish your parents were rich and you wish you were Jeff Bezos' son or something, and you came into this multi-billion-dollar industry and you don't have to work for anything. Yeah. You want that. I know you do. That's why you're mad. And you're like, they need to be bankrupt.
Worry about my bills.
Of course, but the thing is, that's not most people, right? The vast majority of us are going to have to work to get where we want to get, and that some are going to have to work harder than others because I think we do all have equal opportunity. But I think that some people are starting in a harder place than others, right? I grew up in a middle class family. I probably had it better off than a lot of people that were living in, like some of my friends are living in poverty, or in certain, maybe not poverty, that's a little too harsh, but their mom was on food stamps, or they were government assistants, or their dad was never a part of their life, and their mom was trying to be a single mom, so they didn't have the same opportunity as me. But they still have the same opportunity to get where they want in life. They might just have to work harder than I had to.
Exactly.
Because they're starting farther back behind the starting line than I was, right? And I don't think that's necessarily bad, but that's where people want to argue about it and say, well, it's not fair, Ryan, because you grew up in a middle-class family and I grew up in a lower-class family. You can't pick that.
Exactly. You can't pick to who you get born to.
Yeah.
Or what financial state they're in.
Right.
The only thing you can do is what are you going to do with what you got right now?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's not like, guess what? We could have all been born into a family that's in a third world country where you have to walk 3 miles just to get water.
Yeah, dude.
But, things can always be worse.
Yeah.
And of course, you could say things could always be better.
Right.
It's like, well, what are you going to do with what you got now?
Yeah.
And if you always blame, like, well, I had to come from a low-income house, low-income family to make my way up here.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That struggle made you better.
Yeah.
Imagine if you take someone from poverty and be like, all right, well, guess what? Here's $30 billion. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
What are they going to do with it?
Yeah.
Now, some, if they're smart, they might they might manage it really well. Or some, I don't know if you ever see the shows they've done where it's like this person won like $400 million on the lottery, and then 2 years later they're flat broke.
Yeah,
because they mismanaged. They started buying everything. Yeah. And then it's like, so what did all those riches really do?
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have bought 3 islands. Maybe I should have started with just 2.
Just one. Go with one. I've gone with one. Pay it off before you buy the second one.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like having just the opportunity. And in America, we have lots of opportunities.
Yes. And that's why people are trying to come here.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
and that's why, and that's what's amazing to me when people talk about how some people say America is terrible, it's the worst country, and it's this and that, it's all these things. It's like, well, then why are people losing their lives trying to get over here? I'm not saying we're perfect. Yeah. We have our issues just like anybody else, but I can't think of anywhere else I would rather live. Just because of what we're talking about, equal opportunity. You have, I mean, for the most part, you the American dream, right?
Yes.
That's a reality for a lot of people. They can say, yeah, if I work hard enough, I can buy a home, I can get married, have children, I can live this life, But people would rather, especially a lot of the younger generation, would rather complain about it and say, "Oh, it's just dumb. It's just racist society, and it's holding everybody down, and it's this all these things."
They have a narrow look on things,
right?
Because it's like, okay, is people trying to break down, go to Qatar illegally?
I'm not.
No, I'm not. It's like they're it's
right.
Yeah, so it's When I hear people say that, it's like, no. Like, there's always going to be bad people. There's always going to be good people.
Right.
The thing is like, well, what's easier to see?
Yeah.
Bad or good? bad is always easier to see. So especially younger generation, you're going to look at that and just be like, oh, I'm going to complain about everything that's bad. But then it's like, well, where's the good?
Right. Start
looking for the good, and then you're going to start noticing all the good things that we have in America.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, well, yeah, we have the immigration problem, we have, racist problems, we have politician problems. It's like, yeah, but you can go anywhere in the world and you're going to run into the exact same problems.
If not worse.
Yes.
Like you look at other government systems and it's not for the people. It's not where we the people or whatever. It's almost like a monarchy. It's almost like this is what we say goes. If you don't follow us, we're going to kill you. And we're going to steal your family members and put them into forced labor camps and all. It's like, it's gnarly, dude. It's like,
the whole North Korea thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I heard about that. I'm like, wait, so if dad gets busted, but now next you know, 3 generations are being imprisoned.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if that happened in the United States.
I know.
Yeah, no. Everybody would be revolting.
Yep.
We'd have a whole new civil war.
Right.
So.
So what kinds of issues that going on in the world today are you passionate about? Any amount? Or you're
not really.
Okay.
Okay. I'm more of just like, everybody needs to focus more on, like I said before, like common sense.
Yeah.
All right. What's going to be better for yourself, your fellow community, and how are we going to make the next generation better than our generation?
So then, in your opinion, how do we do that?
That's tough.
If you were put in charge of that department tomorrow, all right, Travis, it's up to you, buddy.
First, I'd have the biggest headache in the world. I'd be like, no, I don't want that.
Just get a big bottle of Excedrin. Have that ready to rock.
Maybe something stronger than that. No.
Yeah. Like heroin.
No, not that sort. No.
Somewhere in the middle.
No. I mean, I think one, it comes to first, teach from a young age.
Yeah.
Respect everybody and everything. Just because you have a different opinion about something doesn't make that person wrong. Right. Soka was a big influence in my life, and he used to always tell me this, and like, because we had long conversations. Sometimes I would go over his house, even late night, 10, 11 o'clock, I'd be at his house, and we were just having conversations about life in general. And he told me sometimes when we disagreed, he's like, just because you don't agree with me doesn't make me wrong.
Yeah.
Because from your perspective, like, he even did one where it's like he drew the number 6. Well, from your side of the table, it looks like 9.
Yeah.
For mine, it looks like 6.
Right.
Who's right?
Yeah.
Both
of you.
Exactly. So, but the thing is if I get mad at you because you're like, no, that's a 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's a 6.
Right.
Well, from what you see from your perspective is your opinion and what you see.
Yeah.
I have to respect that.
Yeah, and in that scenario.
Yes.
Right, but then there's certain instances where if I was to say this is a red pen, and you said no, you said, Ryan, from my perspective, that's a blue pen. In that scenario, you would be wrong.
Yes.
Because this is red. No matter how much you believe it's blue, it's red.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So some things are black and white.
Yes, some things are.
Or red and blue in this case.
Exactly. But that also, like, when you respect someone, like, you also will respect yourself, where if you are in the wrong, you're going to be able to change your opinion.
Right.
Yes.
Because, and that's what we're lacking. I agree with you. That's where we're lacking, is that we're not open to changing our viewpoint and saying to someone else, you know what? Wow, I never thought about that before. You're right.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing for people to say. I can't admit defeat. No, it shouldn't be about winning. It should be about getting to the truth of the issue, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gnarly, dude.
And when you get in your own way, because, like, we've all been guilty of this.
Yes.
Of sticking to what you think is the truth, even when someone's showing you the evidence that it's not.
Because it's pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you let that pride get in your way, it clouds your judgment. You're not going to be able to learn.
Yeah.
And then also you're going to start resenting. And once a person does that, then you got that hatred, and then they're going to lash out any way they justify with.
Right.
Whether it's like, oh, well, I'm going to talk bad about you on the internet, or I'm going to physically fight you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you have a disagreement with someone, talk to them.
Right.
If you can reach a mutual understanding, great. If you can't, then you know what? That's your both opinions.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to escalate from that, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, because you should be able to tell, especially as you talk to people more and more and more. You should be able to recognize when you get to a point where you're like, yeah, this isn't going to progress. all this is going to do is make both sides angry. It's not going to solve anything. It's, there's certain people you can talk to and you can get to a solution. And like I just said, people will be like, oh, let me hear your advice on that, or let me hear your thoughts on that, and maybe I'll change my view. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking to someone who's more the person you were just mentioning, that's like, this is what I believe, and get out of my face, and there's nothing you can say to change my mind kind of person, you're just wasting your breath. Mm-hmm. And you should be able to discern that and know when to walk away. And somebody told me one time, one of the greatest things I ever was taught is they said, you know what, Ryan, sometimes you just have to allow people to be wrong. And for me, my whole life growing up as a kind of person who wasn't like that, I was just like, oh no, I'm a debater, man. I got to debate everybody all the time. My mom always used to tell me, you should join the debate team at school. Never did. Maybe I should have. But I was much more of a hothead back then about it. Like I was, always want to argue with everybody, all this kind of stuff. So when this guy said it to me, I was like, wow, what a concept. You mean I can like walk away from somebody knowing that they're probably wrong and just being okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy.
But it helps out because you're not sitting there like later that day still trying to figure out how can I change that person's mind? Right. How can I prove to them that they're wrong?
Right.
Right. And it's like, well, maybe they'll stay wrong for their whole life. Yeah. Maybe eventually, like, the light will shine and they'll be like, oh, wait, he was right.
And it could be 30 years down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows, right? Because that's happened to me. Mm-hmm. Someone said something to me 20 years ago. I'd be like, oh, man, that's what that guy was talking about. I was too young and stupid to understand then, but now I get it, you know? And that's just growth. It's the way it is, Yeah,
yeah. But I think, like, the whole respecting your fellow man, fellow woman, that's gone away.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss that. Like, as I get older, I miss seeing that because we grew up around the same time, and I remember, like, in the 90s, all right, all my friends, all right, I was friends with everybody. Did not matter what social class, what color you were. It doesn't matter. It's like, no, as long as you're cool, and I wanted to hang out with you, and I liked you, you're my friend.
Exactly.
Now, if you were a jerk, and you we didn't get along, well, guess what? I'm not going to seek you out to beat you up or anything. Yeah. That was the last thing I want to do. Mm-hmm. I rather, it's like, hey, well, we're not friends, but I'll still be cordial. Yeah. I don't have to, be like, what? I hate that guy. I want to point out, tell everybody I hate him. It's like, no, that's not the way to go through life.
Put a picture on the dartboard and be throwing it out. Yeah, you just kind of avoid that person, or you don't, you don't purposely call them, hey, you want to hang out? Yeah. Obviously, you're going to do that with people that you
want to hang out with.
Exactly.
Yeah. But,
yeah, it's... Oh, man. So, when we're talking about things like, you can believe what you believe, I can believe what I believe, and just kind of let, things be or whatever. There are certain things, right, though, that we wouldn't say that about. Like if you were, let's say you were in a debate with your friend, and your friend was trying to decide whether or not he wanted to kill his wife, right, or something like that, and he's giving you all the reasons why the best thing to do is to kill his wife, right? I don't think you're going to be able to walk away from that and be like, you know what, I tried to convince him, and he just, I guess I'll just hey, to each their own, man, just whatever.
True.
Things like that, you're going to be like, no, dude, either you need to stop talking like this, or I'm calling the police, I'm going to report you for, whatever, because I don't want to see on the news.
Certain moral guidelines.
Yes.
Which we all have to have.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, everybody, they sometimes will have, more of the loose morals. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, you know what? It's okay. You can do that. Oh, it's illegal. You can do that. Right. It's like, yeah, there might be a gray area on certain things, Yeah. But it's like, okay, if someone's driving over the speed limit, all right. Yeah. That's my last jury duty. This is years ago.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't been picked for a jury duty in a long time.
Okay.
Let me knock on wood.
Yeah. I'm glad I gave you the wood table here, because that's good. That's the second time we knocked, so.
Yeah. And the attorney, he was asking me, he's like, well, if the person drove 1 mile over the speed limit, and the speed limit was 45, and he was caught doing 46, all right, would you give him a ticket? And I'm all and he's like, but knowing that technically that's over the speed limit,
right?
And I was like, that I was like, that's
like
a gray
if you
area.
were a cop, you mean?
Yeah, if I was a cop,
Gotcha.
and I had to give out that ticket.
Yeah.
Would I give out that ticket?
Yeah.
You know, well, it's like, well, that's the gray area. You know, where it's like, you know what? Really? No, I wouldn't give a ticket.
I wouldn't either.
You know, it's 1 mile.
Yeah.
Maybe my radar gun was malfunctioning.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
maybe his speedometer. Or maybe it was just like, oh, he was just went up a little bit before he realized he was going too fast.
Right.
There always can be a variable. Now, if it was like, hey, this guy was trying to kill his wife.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no. That's, in my opinion, is completely different. That right there, that's a moral no-no.
Right.
You know, I mean, there is self-defense, but, you know,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go around trying to kill people.
Well, if it's murder, right?
Exactly.
Self-defense is different than murder.
Definitely.
So.
Definitely. But, you know, murder's murder.
Yeah.
You know, so there's like certain things that are leeways, certain things that are not. You know, I mean, like, even like, the whole gender thing and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Fun
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah. It's like, no. Like, biology has already said there's 2 genders.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, there's male, there's female.
Yeah.
You know, dig up any bones from thousands of years ago, and you can tell it's male or female.
Well, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's beauty is probably the wrong word, but that's like when people try to say, "Stop trying to boil people down to their sex organs." It's like, well, no, it's beyond that. Because, like you said, if you dig up bones from hundreds of years ago, you don't need sex organs. It's just bones.
Yeah.
You can still tell if it's male or female just based on the bone structure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do that with any animal on the surface of the earth.
Right. But what they would say is you're right, that biologically there's only 2 sexes. So, but they've developed this whole new thing called gender. Gender's not the same as sex, they say. They say gender is who you identify. It's a who you are on the inside. Has nothing to do with your biology. So how do you answer somebody like that?
That I actually relate that more towards they're confusing. It's like play on words. They're confusing more of the gender with personality.
Okay.
It's like, guess what? You know what? Whatever personality a person wants to be, that's your choice.
Right.
You know. Now.
So you're okay with that part of it. If someone wants to live as like their personality as a woman, even though they're biologically a male, you might disagree with it, but you're okay with them living their lives.
Yeah. You know, person's adult. They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to go out of my way to force someone to do that. You know, but now if they are asking me to, you know, if it's a boy, they are like, no, call me a woman.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's like, hey, we're not friends. Like, we're not friends. This is just like acquaintance passing.
Right.
No, I am not going to buy into your personal belief on that.
Okay.
You know,
what if it was a friend? What if your best friend, who's a guy, called you tomorrow and said, "Travis, dude, I got some news, man.
Oh man,
I
I'm
am
now
now
on
a
that
woman."
guy left and right. All right, me and my best friend, we talk crap to each other all the time.
Yeah.
You know. And
Well, what if he was dead serious? What if he was like serious? He was like, "No, really. Like, I've always known I was a woman. I just never wanted to say anything, but now I'm coming out. I'm going to start living my life as a woman." Would you call him she and her, or would you still be like, "Dude, shut up"?
No, I just tell him to shut up, just because it's like that's my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, we've been through hell and back.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, so it's like, no, I'm not. I'm obviously there. I'm like, no, I'm going to set you straight, dude.
Okay.
I'm going to set you straight. It's like, yeah, you might have whatever personality you want.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't mean I have to buy into it.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too. Like as long as if you want to live your life as a woman, I mean, if someone asks me what I think about that, that's a different conversation.
True.
But if you're asking me if I think that somebody should be allowed to live their lives as a sex that they are not biologically, whatever. Do you. But don't bring me into it. Don't bring it into my life to where somehow I'm a jerk if I don't want to call you by a sex that you're not biologically, because now you're asking me to leave reality and go into your world of fantasy, right? And I've said this to people, and they say, "Dude, it's just a word, Ryan. Stop being such a jerk. Why is it so hard to say she? You're already saying he. It's the same amount of syllables. Just say she. Like, what's the big deal?" I said, "Well, yeah, but you're asking me to lie.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing."
And also, it gets confusing.
Right.
It gets confusing.
Especially when you get all the 47 different zims, and all that stuff.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I even teach. Well, I know a lawyer who he's told me, like, even in law, they started putting a little bit of that terminology in there.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, you have to be like one little word in like a lawsuit. You change it, it could mean the difference between someone walking away, free or guilty. You know, so it's like no, there is certain things that like you have to stick to. Yeah. You know, it's like if that's a man, that's a man.
It's reality.
That's a woman. That's a reality. It's based in reality. Right. So it's like if you want to, you know, someone wants it. Kind of like it's like back in the day when people were like really going goth. You know, it's like, well, if they want to dress like that, go right ahead. Right. You know, if someone want to dress like punk rock, or if someone want to dress, you know, good old baggy clothes and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, that's just your personality. That's just part of who you are. Right. It's like, go ahead and do that. But don't get, you know, if I disagree with it, it shouldn't mean I should get in trouble for it.
Yeah, and interestingly, too, is that it's probably not even that person's personality inherently. It's probably what they've been influenced by their surroundings, and all their friends dress goth, or all their friends dress punk rock, or whatever. That's what I always cracked up about the punk rock movement. Like, I've always loved the music, but like the move, like the scene. Oh, we're all fighting the system. We're all being different. And they all got mohawks. They all got chains, and they got it's like, you all look the same. How are you being different? You're
different than the mass.
Yes.
But you guys are looking exactly the same.
Right. You just connected to a different culture of your own, or maybe you created your own culture, but you're still all acting like each other. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be way different. Well, that's what's kind of cool about when the ska bands came in. They started wearing suits. Oh yeah, that became the ska thing. Yeah, you know, you like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or some of these groups that were just in the suits and stuff. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So I mean, that's. Have you ever had to? And I can cut this part out too if you'd rather. But I'm just curious. Have you ever had to deal with this in your line of work, like a trans kid or somebody that says, "Hey, or you could tell they're a boy, but they want you to address them as a girl," anything like that?
Only once.
Okay.
But it's one good thing about living in California. You can use the word dude for guy or girl.
True.
Works great.
True.
Or you just call the person by the actual name.
That's what I do.
You know, and that's the easiest thing for me. You know, also not going into too much details of this, but the kid was 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And so, in my opinion, this is my
child
opinion.
Abuse.
It is more of the influence from the parents.
Yes, of course it is.
Because the kid never told us verbally directly.
Yeah.
It was always related from the parent.
Okay.
So that right there, you know, because like we're all influenced at first by our parents.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's only happened once. You know, and they only trained for a little while. They did great. Yeah. Great kid.
Yeah.
Family was okay. Never had any trouble with it. You know, we call the kid by the name.
Yeah.
They didn't want to they didn't make a big deal or anything like that.
Right.
You know, but it was just like, you know, if they wanted for me to change the way I conduct myself, my teaching, I would disagree with it.
Right.
You know, but of course that's, you know, where it's like you're coming in my line of work telling me how I should do things.
Right.
You know, I don't go to your job telling you how you should do things. I don't go into your house and tell you yours. Yeah. Now, I teach the student just like I teach every other student. You know, I'm going to teach them the best of my ability. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be nice to them. Yeah. You know, I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to correct and be stern when needed. You know, but that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I don't need to go above and beyond in any other way.
You're going to treat all the kids the same.
Yes.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, we had no problem.
Well, especially when there's ways around it. And this is a side note kind of, but like it always cracks me up about the celebrities when they have their trans kid and they're like the Jamie Lee Curtis meme. Is the biggest one, right? You've seen this, right? Jamie Lee Curtis says she loves that no one can tell which one of her daughters is trans, and it shows the picture and there's this dude.
See.
Yeah, it's like, dude, are you really that blind? Like, and I almost think they are. I think they're blinded by love or whatever, and they're just like, oh no, she looks just like a girl. No, she doesn't. He doesn't. Nope. But it seems like a lot of people on that side, it becomes like they want to push it all in your face and force you to abide by their rules. And when you don't, you're a bigot.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not even trying to go into that world. Just leave me out of it. You do you, and we'll have a relationship. We'll be friends. We'll hang out. We'll work together professionally. Great. We might even hang out outside of work. Hey, let's go to a show sometime. Let's go hang out. Let's watch a good punk band. We're both into punk rock. Let's go watch. Let's go see Bad Religion Offspring play in Bakersfield. Yeah. No problem. But don't sit here and throw it in my face and put me in situations where you're forcing me to say he this or he that.
don't do that. Why are you doing that? Unless you want to cause a problem. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of times people want to cause that trouble, and then especially since everything's on social media now, it's like, well, how can I get my likes? How can I get the views? How can I show this person in a bad light?
Right.
You know? Yeah. Instead of like, well, there's enough negative stuff on the internet. It's like, how about like, let's focus on some more positive things.
Right.
You know? Treating people with kindness, respect.
Yes.
You know? Just like you respect that kid. You don't agree with everything he does.
Right.
But you're still friends with him. You're still nice. You still work together.
Yep.
And you don't have a problem with that.
Right. Bingo.
You know, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. But other people on that, some of that wouldn't say that.
That is true.
They'd say you're a racist, homophobic, transphobic bigot that needs to die.
And then you'd be like, guess what? That's your opinion. You know?
And I would support their opinion.
Oh, yeah.
You have the right to think that about me. Now, if you want to have a conversation about why I think you're wrong, we'll have that conversation. But again, I'm able to walk away and say, okay, you want to believe that about me, that's fine. But it's not true. But you have the legal right to believe that.
Yeah. There's no law in the world that says everybody has to like everybody.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And like what my buddy's dad used to always tell me is like, in life, he's like, if you don't have any haters, then you did something wrong.
Right.
Like, if you have haters, you did something right.
Right.
You know, because like, you're not going to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to ruffle feathers, and you're going to make friends. You're going to find people that like-minded, but then you're going to find the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, well, how can you deal with all?
Right. Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. All right. So let's go into spiritual stuff then. So, which I really know nothing about. You know, I know that you guys used to pray before.
Still do.
Karate. So okay.
Still
so
do.
like, what are you? Do you profess Christian?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I've been born and raised Christian.
Okay.
You know, I was brought up in a Baptist.
Okay.
Christian household. You know.
Your parents were both believers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You know, very religious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, throughout my years, you know, like especially teenage years, definitely had run-ins with, you could say, more like problems with organized religion. Just because when I was a teenager, you know, just like most teenagers, they're going to question everything.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And I was big in questioning things, and I was like a little bit like you, like how you said you were like your mom told you to go be on the debate team.
Yeah.
You know, I used to love to argue.
Right.
I used to love to get in conversations.
Yeah.
You know, and just like especially when I was younger, it's like, well, how can I make this person mad? You know, but I had a problem with the organized religion because I could see a lot of hypocrisy.
Right.
Because they're like, hey, you need to live your life this way, this way, this way, this way. You gotta, you know, abide by all these rules. But then you look at the person telling you that, and they don't even follow their walk. Yeah. So it's like, so do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah.
And so I would question that, and there was a time where, like, I especially after that, I literally didn't want, like, I was going away from religion, going away from, especially organized religion.
About how old were you then?
Probably like 19.
Okay. But would you say at that time you still believed in Jesus? You just didn't like church and the church system?
I really, like, at that time, I pretty much almost hated the church.
Okay.
But I've always had a belief and faith in God.
Okay. Just God as a general term? Or would you call it Jesus?
Jesus.
Okay.
You know, no, I believe that Jesus is the Son of God.
Okay.
You know, I was, like, the Bible is not just historically and correct, but it is true. It has great morals. It has history in it. It's not just a book that many authors wrote.
Yeah.
You know,
that just happens to like
line
all
up.
Fit perfectly together. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, no, that didn't happen.
Right.
You know, because like even at that time where I was going away from like organized religion, I was even looking into other religions. Oh, okay. You know, because like if someone just reads the Bible and doesn't try to read like any of the other scriptures or other ancient manuals. Yeah. You know, it kind of limits your perspective.
Right.
You know,
in other words, how do you know the other ones aren't right?
Exactly. You know,
you never read them. Yeah.
Yeah, true. You know, so it's like I mean, I've read you know, the Tao Te Ching, you know, Taoist. Even looked into a little bit of Buddhism. Even like I read the Quran, stuff like that. Yeah. Even a little bit of like, not too much, but a little bit of Hindu faith. Okay. You know, just because it's like, well, I was raised so much on one faith, and it's like, well, let me look at all the other ones.
As you were doing that, though, were you looking and open-mindedly looking for the truth in those, or were you more looking for ways to discount Christianity?
It was more truth.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to see, like, okay, well, first, what is the common denominator everybody has? Mm-hmm. You know? And also, like, everything, even, like, you know, Taoist belief, even, like, a little bit of, like, Buddhism, stuff like that, you know, they don't really, like, try to point to God, but they do point towards that there is this higher power, mm-hmm. this creator. Yeah. And then also, like, being spiritual from a young age, and then also, like, growing up and even questioning spirituality, mm-hmm. but then having certain revelations where, you know, it you feel when anytime basically was like, no, there is no God, like, especially when I was younger, you know, and trying to, like, rebel against that.
Oh, you had a point where you didn't believe in God at all.
Well, I tried to, mm-hmm. but then certain things happen, mm-hmm. you know, whether it be, you know, a close friend going through a rough situation, or certain things that I had to overcome, you know, and looking at where it's like, well, in this instance, I should be dead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but no, I'm not dead. Yeah. Well, why didn't that happen?
Okay.
Well, it's because there's a purpose for me, mm-hmm. you know, and it's like, well, if there's a purpose for me, like, who made this purpose?
Right.
You know, and then, like, even where sometimes, like, if you think, like, oh, there is no God, I'm completely alone in this world, you get this emptiness inside you. Mm-hmm. And every time, like, I would read the Bible, where I'd think about God and, like, well, how is everything connected? Mm-hmm. It really, like, having that belief in that higher power above me, you know, because I believe that, you know, God's above, you know, time, matter, and space.
Yeah.
It basically, it's like we don't govern our own body.
Right.
You know, I don't sit here and make my own heartbeat. It does it on its own. Right. You know, that's a gift from God.
Yeah.
But it's like God is outside of us, and He's allowing us to do what we're doing now. Mm-hmm. And every time I would, like, no, He has a purpose for me. There's a reason for this. I'm granted this life so I can find my reason, my purpose.
Yeah.
And that gave me a sense of peace.
Okay.
And that peace was, like, I related to, like, that's a peace, that's a gift from God. Mm-hmm. He's the only one that can grant me that peace. Because every time I try to turn away from Him, I lost that peace.
Right.
And then next you know, I'm sitting there getting myself into trouble, getting myself into certain things I should never have gone into.
Right.
And I was like, wait, why is now my life spiraling out of control?
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let me try to find my way back. You know? And the good thing is God always will show us, like, He'll always welcome us back.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
so what do you say to people, like, let's say you were talking to somebody and they said they grew up in the church, the Christian church, and their parents were Christians, and they believed that for a certain point. And then at a certain point, let's say they're 19, 20, they became atheists. Mm-hmm. And they said that they've never felt that kind of peace in their life before, since they abandoned all of Christianity and became atheists. Mm-hmm. Would you think they were lying, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, because, I mean, I would say that they're probably, like, trying to look for it in another person.
Okay.
They're putting too much trust in maybe that pastor, mm-hmm. or that deacon, or another member of the church.
Right.
You know, because I've had conversations with many of people of a church and not really getting impacted. It's like, okay, well, you guys kind of sound like hypocrites. But then I've had a conversation with a former crackhead, mm-hmm. who is sitting there like, hey, you know what? I was on my last straw. I'm sitting there selling everything I can to do drugs. I'm doing stuff I should have never done just to, like, dull all the pain that they felt.
Yeah.
And then something reached out and touched them.
Yeah.
And showed them, like, wait, I don't have to keep doing this.
Right.
You know, I'm literally killing myself. And if I give this up, there's this whole new world that is there for me, mm-hmm. that would be so much prosperous.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? But they don't think they're strong enough.
Right.
And then they start believing, like, wait a second, no. Maybe there is a higher power. Yeah. Maybe that would give me the strength. And next thing they found that strength.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying before about, like, struggles causing growth, right? And there's lots of stories like what you're talking about where someone's in a lifestyle that's either drug addiction or, for women, prostitution. Like there's been people who have come out of these horrendous lifestyles that were just destroying their souls, and they will tell the story of how the Lord reached out to them and they, I mean, the stories are always different how they got there, but they had this relationship, they had this experience with God, and it changes their life, right? And they're just like, I've never been so at peace. I've never felt so much love before. Now I know that I'm loved and I have a purpose in life. And now I'm married with 5 kids, and I'm, but you look in the past, and I've met these people, and some of these people, I know them well, and they tell you about their past life and that stuff, and you would never in a million years believe it. Because you know them now and the changed person they are. You're like, you did what back then? You were what?
Believe
correct.
Yeah.
But even though there's so many stories like that, there's also stories of people that have kind of the opposite story. Well, they'll say, like I was saying earlier, like I was a Christian my whole life, and my parents raised me that way, and then I started to question things. I became an atheist. I no longer believe even God exists. And they will say that they've never felt such love and peace since they became atheists. So kind of the question is like, why is that? Like what's the difference between the two people? Why do one person find that peace and love within the confines of Christianity where someone else finds it without any belief system at all? Like a literal atheist, like there's nothing. It's all materialism. We're just, here we are, we live maybe 6, 70, 80 years, we're dead. That's it, we're worm food, that's it, it's all over. And it seems like a bleak kind of existence, but I've talked to atheists that they're like, no, that's fine. I'm just going to make the most out of my 80 years, and then I'm thankful for that, and that's it. So
I think it comes down to like people being okay with an outcome. Yeah. Some people don't like the outcome of like, well, if I believe that we are nothing and we're going to return to nothing and be nothing, right. That gives them peace. I think,
which is weird to me because that does the opposite for me. That's very bleak.
Yeah.
That almost makes me feel like, well, who cares then? I'll just do whatever I want.
Why is there morality?
Right.
Why is it that if you do something, you feel bad?
Yeah.
All right. What about your emotions? Also, it's like, well, just look at this whole world. We are all connected to it.
Right.
It's like I saw something earlier today. It was like part of our, like, pretty much the minerals that make up our DNA are all found in dirt. And it's like in the Bible, we came from dirt. It's like, people like believe that it's like, oh, well, we're aliens from a different place. And God landed here,
right.
Because it's like, I have a broad imagination, and I'll listen to all different types of philosophy,
sure.
Podcasts, stuff like that. And just to like, well, I want to know perspective. But it's like, well, we're all on this one rock in space, floating in this vastness that we can't even comprehend. But we're this one special creature that we can think about things. Right. We're not governed just by a certain routine like a plant is. Even though now they're learning like, plants are more connected than we thought. Right. And it's like, no, we're all connected. Yeah. So I mean, it's a kind of like a tough question. Yeah.
So, but what's the okay? So, do you first of all, do you believe that Jesus or Christianity is the only way? Is the one true way to finding the true God? In other words, or would you say that Buddhism is no different, or Hinduism is no different?
Well, no, I would say there are differences.
Okay.
Because, like, Buddhism, Hinduism points to lots of gods. Yeah. Buddhism is like, well, there really isn't too much God, but you can become godlike. Right. Right. I believe that, Christianity, like, it does, like, Jesus' story and being the Messiah, living up to all of the prophecies and stuff like that, that points to God. He was God in the physical form. Okay. I don't really see, like, even Buddhism or even, like in the Quran, it doesn't really point towards that. Right. So
point towards Jesus, you mean?
To Jesus, yeah.
Even though he's mentioned in there.
He is.
But he's mentioned as
a prophet.
Yeah. Or a good teacher or whatever. Yeah.
You know,
but not the Son of God.
Exactly. And the thing is like, no, he is the Son of God.
Okay.
You know, so it's like Christianity does point to the true God.
Okay.
You
So
know?
you would stand on that statement. Like if you were talking to a Muslim and they said, no, they say, because of what they say is God doesn't have children. He doesn't have a son. God doesn't have a son. This is you Christians think Jesus is the Son of God, and it's like, well, no, we go even farther than that. We believe Jesus was actually God in the flesh. And now they're like, whoa, that's like blasphemy, right?
Yeah.
So if you were talking to a Muslim, you would tell them that, well, no, I disagree with you, and I think that Jesus is the true way of salvation, and he is the Son of God, and he's God in the flesh, and you guys need to surrender to him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do hold that view that like Jesus is the only way then.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what he said, right? And the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father but through me.
Yes.
But I know a lot of people struggle with that because they think, well, I have lots of friends that are Muslim or Hindu or whatever, or Mormon or Jehovah's Witness or whatever, and it's like, and they're great people. Or even atheists. They say, I know people that are atheists that are great.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful people. They're nicer than I am, that's for sure. They put me to shame as far as humanitarian aid and that kind of stuff. But, if Jesus was telling the truth, they're going to be in hell, right? So, I mean, do you believe heaven and hell? Do you hold...
Now, that's, you could think of it like the whole actual burning place and a pearly gates. That, I'm not sure. I think it's more of, like, hell could be just that complete separation where you're not in the presence of God.
Yeah. I think that is what it is.
Instead of, here, let me toss you into this bonfire.
Right.
Lake
of fire.
Exactly. Yeah. I like bonfires.
Yeah.
Lake of Fire works too. I think Lake of Fire reminds me too much of Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's more just like, because of scientists have proven like we're all energy. So energy supposedly cannot be created or destroyed.
Right.
So then it's like, well, where do we go? And it's like, well, when we return, when we pass away, the believers, we go back into the presence of God.
Okay.
So it's almost like, hey, come back into the fold here. You get that presence.
Right.
If not, then you are without that presence.
Okay.
That's kind of like how I see heaven and hell. Is just like that separation where you are not in the same presence as God.
So would you say every soul starts out in the presence of God? And
yes.
when we're born as flesh, we come into this world and we live however long we're going to live. And during that time, we have a choice to either follow Jesus or not. We have free will, so we can reject his offer of salvation and say, no, I don't want that, or I don't believe in you, or I'm an atheist, or whatever. And then when they physically die, then their soul either goes away, it either stays where it is or goes back in the presence of God.
Yes.
So where would that be, like the staying where it is, just on Earth? Do you think that's kind of like question. Ghosts and spirits? Or I think that's kind of what that is. It's just roaming the earth.
It could be. It could be where it's like, hey, you don't get to go to the heavens, you don't get to go beyond, and in the presence of God, maybe you're just stuck wandering in a void.
Okay. But do you think it's like a place of torment? Do you think like people?
I think just being outside the presence of God would be torment enough.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like, all right, being in a warm room or in the freezing Arctic.
Right.
Everybody in the warm room is going to love it. It's going to be nice. It's going to be comforting. But the moment you go out in that freezing Arctic,
right.
You're not going to like that.
Yeah. How warm are we talking though? I mean, because if it's like 85, that's I'm not comfortable there.
Oh, you're not a heat person?
Well, it depends.
If
I'm out by the beach or something, or it's got a breeze coming through. I like nighttime.
Nighttime
I like
heat?
when the sun's down. If I'm in Vegas at 2 a.m. and it's 110 degrees, I love that. But if I'm at Vegas at 3 p.m. and it's 120 degrees and the sun's out,
you're like, nope, no, I'm not going outside.
Exactly. I'm hanging out in the hotels where the AC's on.
I love the heat no matter what.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, no.
You hate the cold?
Like, I don't like the cold.
Okay.
Not the biggest fan of it.
Okay.
That's why I stay in the Central Coast.
Yeah.
We're spoiled over here.
Yeah, 75 all year round.
Oh yeah. Even this past week with the heat wave.
Yeah.
The little getting up to the 80s and 90s. I'm cool with that.
And I did enjoy that because it was out of the ordinary. I didn't enjoy the day we were at Disneyland when it was 104. That was not.
Yeah,
good. We stuck to the shade that day for sure. But
sunscreen.
But hanging out in the backyard with the barbecue and the umbrella, so I'm out of the direct sunlight. Loving it, man. Something cold to drink next to me. Yeah, I love that. But yeah. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about heaven and hell. So it's a little different. But yeah, I think it's when the Bible's talking about hell, it's such a controversial topic because there's so many. First of all, there's 3 different things described as that we call hell. Where you got Hades, you got Gehenna, and you got the lake of fire, which literally that's literally what I guess we would say hell, right? Because it says that first Satan and all his minions are thrown into the lake of fire, right? So that it was created for them, I believe. But then it also says Hades is thrown into the lake of fire, and Hades, from what I understand, is where all the people who are all the souls of the people who have rejected the Lord. That's where it's like the holding area, right? I mean, and again, this is all very, very kind of convoluted passages of Scripture where we're getting this information from. It's not real clear, which is why it's hard for me to take a full-on stand on some of that stuff. But it's.
Well, the thing is like no one you don't remember what you did before you were born.
No,
you're not going to remember it with this physical self. We're not going to know what's going to happen when we're dead.
I don't remember what I did yesterday, dude. I'm 48 now, so the memory's not as good. My wife's like, don't you remember we had this conversation last night? I'm like, no, we didn't.
No. Like, yes, we did. You said this. I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's all right. I work in my garage. I put a pencil down, look around. Where's that pencil? Wait, where's my tape measure?
Right.
I do that all the time.
Pencils in your ear, tape measures in your pocket,
No, it's usually underneath like sawdust. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I cut you off. You were talking about, about you're not going to remember before I was born. Yeah.
So trying to get a description of what hell and heaven could be from someone who's living right now.
Yeah.
It's hard. People can describe it, Dante's Inferno, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we have only a little bit of stuff to go off of, and then it's all of faith.
Right.
So it's we don't know what the picture of it. I mean, who knows? Maybe hell is just me sitting in a room with a clown on the other side making faces at me.
Yeah.
That would be hell.
See?
I don't like clowns.
See, that would be, so that would be like personalized hell and personalized heaven that people talk about and say, well, heaven is a place where all of my favorite things exist. Like for me, heaven would be, there would be no coffee, there would be no beets, and there would be no polenta, right? To where for someone else, that their heaven might be full of those things because they're crazy. But, like my wife, obviously her heaven would have lots of coffee. They'd have rivers flowing with coffee in there and things like that. And hell would be like all your greatest fears, right? Like for you mentioned clowns or whatever. Like for me it would be
that used to be a big fear when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah? Is it still? Like do you...
No, I tolerate it.
Okay. When you watch a movie like It, do you freak out?
No.
Okay.
No. One thing I'm always the type of person that if something scares me, that used to scare me a lot when I was a kid and up toward, teenage, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's no, I don't like something controlling me. So I want to learn how to control it.
Okay.
So it kind of forces me to kind of work on myself to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And plus I was in a job one time that actually I had to do some demonstrations, not martial arts, but other demonstrations. And there were clowns there.
Really?
And my best friend was working with me and he's like... He rolls up next to me and he's all like, "Don't turn around." I'm all like, "Dude!" And of course, what do you do when your best friend tells you to turn around?
Yeah.
I turn around. There's a clown bam right there. I'm like, wow. I turn back around. I'm like, "Dude, let's get this thing going on right now." I was like, "I am not going to deal with this right now," and I had to move away because I was like, "I'm going to punch this clown in the face."
Yeah, that's so funny. Dude.
But of course, now I'm like, "Yeah, it does not."
No
bother
biggie.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no.
We went to this is probably 7-8 years ago at this point, but we went to I think it was an AG, that place, the Pit. So they did haunted houses for a while. Okay. Like every year in Halloween, they'd have a haunted house there, and it was different themed every year. And one year it was and I think this was the last year my wife ever did this because this is where we learned it's not really her thing anymore. When we were younger, we used to go to Halloween Horror Nights together, Universal Studios, all this stuff. We'd have a blast. She'd watch the scary movies with me because I love scary movies. And but anyway, we went to this one, and the theme was clowns, like psycho clowns or something. It was, right?
Yeah.
So we're in line to even get in the maze. We haven't even gone in yet. And there's guys in clown stuff walking around all around the lines, right? And they're doing, the one guy's on the stilts where he's like 20 feet in the air, but he's got the things on his arms too, where you kind of walk with this. Dude. And I don't know if you've ever been to things like that or things like Universal Studios, Halloween Horror Nights. These people in the scare zones, they look for people that are going to freak out.
Yes.
And when they find them,
they'll single you out.
They do not leave them alone, dude. The one came on the one side of Bethany and she just freaked out, right? She's all cowering on me. Whatever. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Now they know. And now they'll all come over. And the guy on the stilts, he gets down like this, dude, like on his haunches. Oh. And he literally gets right next to her face. And she's facing me. So she can't see that, right? And kind of like your clown story. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she sees the look on my face. She goes, he's right there, isn't he? I said, yeah. So she turns and he goes, ooh. And she just like flips out, dude. Yeah. Oh. And now it's like, she doesn't watch scary movies with me anymore. It was hard pressed to even get to finish Stranger Things, which isn't, it's scary, but it's not that scary. But yeah, like horror movies, no way. She doesn't. When I go to Halloween Horror Nights now, I just take my son and some friends and stuff. I don't ever go with.
Yeah, my wife, she doesn't do scary movies at all.
Nothing. Okay.
No, and there's certain movies that I love scary movies.
Yeah. Are there ones that scare you too much?
Not really.
Okay.
I used to love the Hellraiser series. Okay. Back in the day, that was the closest one to scaring me.
Okay.
My all-time one is not really so much of a horror movie, but it's more that suspenseful horror.
Which one?
Event Horizon.
Oh, with the spaceship that's alive.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Love it.
I saw that when it came out.
Same here.
And I don't remember much about it. I remember liking it, but it was that like 95, 90? It was old, right?
I've been trying to get my wife to watch that.
Okay. It's too scary for her.
She's
more sci-fi than scary.
Yeah, it's more of a sci-fi horror.
Okay.
And really, there's not that much. There's maybe 7 scenes that are like horror.
Okay.
That's it. But she's like, nope, she won't do any of the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th. Okay. She won't even watch Stranger Things.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Bummer, dude. Such a great show. Oh. I love that show.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. I watched the first 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's over then. Just leave it there.
Okay, good.
Season 5.
That's what I was been hearing. It just kind of went downhill. Yeah, and I hate when they do that.
It was disappointing. I mean, there was aspects of it that were good, but when you were waiting that long for the end of the show, and then that was the end of the show, you're like, oh, dude.
Oh, it's a letdown.
I thought so. I mean, season 4 is my favorite of all of them. I loved that season. Mm-hmm. You saw that one, right?
I believe so. Okay. It's been a while.
Vecna? Does that ring a bell?
I think right when that character was introduced is when I stopped. I don't know if that's season 3 or
season 4.
Oh, okay.
Vecna is introduced in season 4.
Oh, okay. I think I started season 4. Okay. I don't know if I finished it.
I'm not going to say anything. That is my favorite season. You should definitely watch that one.
Oh, okay.
Definitely watch that one. You should probably watch the 5th one too, just to be over. But
come that far, might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. Oh, morality. You mentioned morality before. Would you say that there's a universal morality and that comes from God?
I believe so. Okay. I think we're all kind of born with we're born with certain traits. Mm-hmm. We're born with an inherent good and evil.
Yeah.
And when you start even a little kid knows when they're doing something bad. They don't really need someone to point it out and be like, hey, that's wrong. Mm-hmm. If you're mean to someone, there's certain things that are you said, it's a moral compass.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has one of those.
Right.
I think a lot of times through just life in general and influences of other things, we can kind of turn our eyes away from it.
Okay.
And
kind of change it, right? Because there's right now as we stand, for most people, murder's wrong.
Yes.
Right? That's kind of a universal one still. Mm-hmm. But there's other ones that were universal even 40, 50 years ago that are no longer. And they've become, as kind of more liberal in the sense of, well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you look at, I don't know. I can't think of any specific examples off the top of my head, but it seems like something like murder, most people would agree murder's wrong, right? Abortion, there we go. Let's use abortion. So if you look at, 40, 50 years ago, mm-hmm. for most people, they'd be like, well, yeah, that's murder. So therefore it's wrong. Mm-hmm. But now it seems like it's, for most people, I don't know if it's because I live in California or what, but most people you talk to are my body, my choice. They have all these talking points of why abortion's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They make a little gray area.
A gray area, right?
Yeah.
Which in their mind makes it morally acceptable. But of course, there's people on the pro-life side. They're like, no, that's not morally acceptable. You're killing babies. That's not okay to kill babies, right? But of course, the pro-choice side says, well, no, you're not killing babies. You're killing a clump of cells. Or they won't even say killing. You're ending the pregnancy, right? It's not even a baby yet. It's not a life. It's not alive. It's nothing, So, but I'm with you. I think that there is an ultimate moral code, and I think we all kind of inherently had it. And I think, but as time goes on, I think it's getting skewed. Mm-hmm. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, and unless we have like something tangible to keep going back to, I would say it's Scripture. I would say Scripture is what's going to tell us the truth, even if society's saying something otherwise, or our friend is saying otherwise, or even our church sometimes is saying it. Because we got a lot of liberal churches now. They're like, well, that's not what the Bible really says.
Sure.
It's just like, well, that seems to be what it says in that right there.
We can interpret it a different way.
Yeah, right.
They interpret it how they want to see it.
Yeah. We can interpret it a way in which we change every word that's there to make what we want it to say. It's like, no, that's not what it says. Mm-hmm. So that's my last question for you. Scripture itself, do you see that as all true, some true, mostly true?
No. I would say, like, scripture-wise, it is true.
Okay.
But also it's like when you're reading stuff, you have to interpret it. Mm-hmm. Because Bible was written thousands of years ago, where the way they talk, the way they describe things, the way they communicate wasn't so just straightforward.
Yeah.
It would be hidden within meanings.
Okay.
And you have to kind of look into it.
Sure.
Because just like anything.
Especially with symbolism.
Yeah, big time symbolism.
Yeah.
If we had a lot more time there, that's a different
Yeah,
topic,
right. Yeah.
Because it's like, once you get into, like, well, what were they trying to say? Mm-hmm. The symbolism. What was this? Right. The manna that fell to the Israelites when they were leaving Egypt. Mm-hmm. Well, what was that? Was that bread? Was that? Was that a mushroom growing on the ground?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you have to look into it. You have to do research.
Right.
You can't just take things always as face value or what someone else says.
Yes.
I'm a big person on, like, no matter if you're reading the scriptures, you're listening to a sermon, or just a conversation. Something strikes your interest, go do research about it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Ask questions.
Right.
That's one thing I encourage, especially my students. I always tell them, ask questions. If you don't ask, you can't learn.
Right.
And it's and if you ask a question to someone who doesn't know it, we'll find someone else.
Yeah, especially today with the age of the internet and all this stuff, we can find answers everywhere.
Yeah.
You'd have to be willing to put the time in to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some answers are going to take time.
Right.
Some answers you might not ever find an answer.
Right.
But keep searching and you might find something that will help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of that's a little bit of what I think.
Cool, man. Cool, dude. Well, thanks, man. That was fun.
Oh, it was
really fun. Good times.
Actually went by really fast.
Yeah, it flies, dude.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Why Can't We Talk About That podcast. I would greatly appreciate feedback, so please send me an email to whycan'twetalkaboutThat@proton.me. Thanks.